radio, tagaan mong lingaw. Kay giving you the best music and everything, that's what make us proud. So turn your radio up, don't stop. Chillin' while tuning sa radio. All day, all night, diri lang sa Z-Radio. Minsan o gasa pa kapadulong, sa balay man o trabaho. Giving you the best music and everything, diri lang sa Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawanon na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawanon na Pasibya, Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawanon na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawanon na Pasibya, Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawanon na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawanon na Pasibya, Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawanon na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawanon na Pasibya, Z-Radio.
Nagasilya gikan sa Bulawanong probinsya sa Davao de Oro. Kini ang Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw, 88.5 Z-Radio.
This is Z-Radio 88.5.
Hoy, tara, magklase na ta! Tara, tara! Sige, sige! Let's go!
Kunin na ang radyo, hanapin ang Z-Radio. Halika na at makinig, mag-aaral tayo! Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, makinig, matuto. Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, may matutuhang bago. Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, siguradong masaya. Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela. Umulan man umaraw, edukasyo'y susulong. Kaya halika na, mag-aaral tayo! Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, makinig, matuto. Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, may matutuhang bago. Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, siguradong masaya. Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela.
Handog ng DepEd Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela, siguradong masaya!
Let's go!
Good morning, province of Davao de Oro. Our food for thought for today is coming from the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 5. And it says, I am reminded of your sincere faith, which first lived in your grandmother Loy and in your mother Eunice, and I am persuaded now lives in you also. Reflection. Hand in hand, my grandson and I skipped across the parking lot to find a special back-to-school outfit. A preschooler now, he was excited about everything, and I was determined to ignite his happiness into joy. I just seen a coffee mug with the inscription, "Grandmas are moms with lots of frosting." Frosting equals fun, glitter, joy. That's my job description as his grandma, right? That and more. In his second letter to his spiritual son Timothy, Paul calls out his sincere faith and then credits its lineage both to Timothy's grandmother, Loy, and his mother, Eunice. These women lived out their faith in such a way that Timothy also came to believe in Jesus. Surely, Loy and Eunice loved Timothy and provided his needs. But clearly, they did more. Paul points to the faith living in them as the source of the faith later living in Timothy. My job as a grandmother includes the frosting moment of a back-to-school outfit. But even more, I'm called to the frosting moments when I share my faith. Bowing our heads over chicken nuggets, noticing angelic cloud formations in the sky as God's works of art, tripping along with a song about Jesus on the radio. Let's be wooed by the example of moms and grandmas like Eunice and Loy, to let our faith becoming the frosting in life so others will want what we have. How have you been influenced by the faith of others? How are you living out your faith so that others might be influenced?
Gikan sa bubuhan, Davao de Oro, tuburan sa paglaon. Sa Davao inyong mahuswagon, ang kaanyag mong makabibihan, talag sa undas sa kahitasan, kamukirang sa lumaki alimahan, bunga sa karagayan. May pagluban, yuta mong nagmadagayaon, mga anak mong mahigugmaon. Ipaligod sa bayanihan, iumol sa panaghiusap. Sa timumang may mapeya at sa pagtilabangan may kalamluan. kabibihan, kalag sa ongga sa sangkahitasan, kabukiran sa lumani alimahan, bunga sa kadagayan. Sabang de oro, kanimo nagabigan among kabulahanan. Sabang de oro, mapulawanong paraiso, sa nagiusang gabawenyo. Dabang de oro, dagatuyutan, muling bulawan. Dabang de oro, dagatuyutan, muling
Z Radio 88.5.
Check your time. It's already 14 minutes past the hour of 10. Again, alas 10:14 na sa buntag mga kazi. And time check sa ka nato ni Vice Governor Maria Carmen Zamora. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Golden Province of Davao de Oro. Lakip na usab sa atong mga silingang lalawigan nga abot ning atong sibiyahanan. It's a wonderful Tuesday kanatong tanan mga zilingan. And samahan niyo po kami as we welcome another episode sa inyong paboritong programa, kini ang Radyo Z-Eskwela.
Siguradong masaya.
Din mabati ninyo sa inyong paboritong radio station, ang Z Radio 88.5, ang istasyong Siguradong Lingaw.
Siguradong kuyaw.
Yes, good morning Sir Drew. It's April 13, 2021. Araw po tayo ngayon ng Martes mga kazi. And in the first 2 hours, kami po ang inyong makakasama ay Mamaymay Resma po.
And I'm Sir Drew Manuel. Good morning, Teacher Mai.
Good morning
sa atong mga Zuking Tigpaminaw, most especially sa atong mga learners across the province and also sa kanilang mga parents and guardians na nakatutok sa ating programa for today. And good morning also to our fellow teachers and to our bosses dyan sa ating division office na gipangunahan sa atong Motherly SDS Ma'am Euphemia T. Gamutin and also sa ato ang ASDS Doc Romel Handayan.
Ayan, sasamahan niyo po kami sa ating episode today mga kazi. And since it's Tuesday, ang ating pag-uusapan for today is all about mathematics po. Ayan. So, samahan niyo po kami. Manatili lang po naka-tune in and be with us hanggang alas 2 ng hapong ito. So, ano-ano ba ang mga lesson presentation, Sir Drew, na dapat nilang abangan?
Yes, mga kazi. So, abangan natin ang ating 4 lesson presentation for today, which is about the Mathematics 9, 10, 11, and 12. And aside sa ating on-air sa atong paboritong istasyon, mga kazi, we do have our cross-line streaming. So, live na live tayo sa ating mga FB pages. Hanapin lang at i-like and i-subscribe ang ating FB pages such as the Facebook Live at Z Radio 88.5, DepEd tayo Division of Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela, DepEd Davao de Oro. And with those FB pages, so pwedeng ninyong isulat ang inyong mga pa-shoutout or mga comments or suggestions dyan po sa ating mga comment box section. And we do have our YouTube channel. So if you missed this episode mga kazi, so all you have to do is to review and go to our YouTube channel, which is the Radyo Z-Eskwela DDO. Our YouTube channel is Radyo Z-Eskwela DDO.
Ayan, so kung wala pa mo nakasubscribe, do it now mga kazi, and please do like our videos also.
Yes.
And don't forget to hit the notification bell para pinaupdate ma-notify mo kung gana tayo mga bagong videos nga ato ang i-upload. Ayan,
right.
so once again, ang ating mga pag-uusapan today is all about mathematics, kaya naman po sa ating mga grade 9,
Yes.
10, 11, and 12 learners, tumutok na po kayo. Samahan niyo po kami dahil tiyak na mga bagong kaalaman na naman po ang ating matututunan sa ating mga leksyon sa araw na ito.
And speaking for our learners, we are reminding you to get with your parents and guardians to please notify us with your attendance in our RBI classes for today by filling out the link https://tinyurl.com/Radyo Z-Eskwela 0413. So that would be our link for our attendance, and naka-flash yan sa ating mga FB screens and nakapin sa ating mga count box sections sa our different FB pages.
Yes, tama yan, Sir Drew. Okay, so once again, it's April 13. Happy karawan sa tanan natong mga kazi nga nag-celebrate karon sa ilang mga adlaw na tawhan. Happy birthday po sa inyo, and happy celebration sa uban pang okasyon nga inyo ang gina-celebrate today.
That's right, and good morning din sa ating mga butihing program, Radyo Z-Eskwela sponsors.
Yes, good morning mga maman sir, sa kanunay daghan kaayong salamat. So mga kasihulato na mo ang inyong mga mensahe, and para mas ma-excite mo, andam na kayo ang ato ang content presenter,
Yes.
Sir Drew, tungod makauba nato siya later. Our first content presenter after sa iyang lesson presentation, ato siyang makauban ug makahinabi diin tubago niya mga kazi ang pipila ka mga frequently asked questions nga nagikan mismo sa ato ang mga suking tigpaminaw.
Tama ka dyan, Teacher Mai. And I'm sure our grade 9 learners are very ready for our first lesson presentation.
Naman, it's already 10:19. Simulan na natin, Sir Drew.
Yes, it will be about Mathematics 9 na may topic na Proving Theorems on Kites. Makakasama natin dito bilang content presenter, isang Teacher 3 from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School. We have Ma'am Thelma B. Nanale, and together with her creative resource material developer, isang Teacher 1 din also from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, we have Ma'am Christine Joy R. Dalugdog.
Alas 10:19 na po. Make your day math-mazing as our teachers make our math lesson math dali at masaya. Huwag matakot mga kazi. Kaya naman po, tara na, magklase na ta!
Good morning, grade 9 students, and as well as to our avid listeners. You are listening to Radyo Z-Eskwela, Siguradong Masaya. We are here once again for another learning session in mathematics. This is your teacher on air for grade 9 mathematics. Teacher Thelma B. Nanali from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School. Let us have fun and learn from our today's topic. Be sure that you are listening attentively and follow all the directions of the activities. So, before we start our discussion, make sure you are in a comfortable place and prepare the following: notebook, ballpen, and any scratch paper. After our discussion for today, you are expected to achieve the following objectives: prove the theorems on kite, solve problems involving kite. I know that you already have an idea what a kite is. Yes, we're talking about the kite that you used to play during a windy season in your place. So, to define kite, it is a quadrilateral with two pairs of congruent and adjacent sides. We will hear from Jovelyn and Christine as they enumerate the two theorems related to kites.
Number 1. In a kite, the perpendicular bisector of at least one diagonal is the other diagonal.
Number 2. The area of a kite is half the product of the lengths of its diagonals.
In order to prove these theorems about kite, we will be using a two-column proof. The first column is the statement column, which is usually stated in symbols, while the second column is the reason column, which are reasons that corresponds the statement in the first column. Now, let us try to prove Theorem 1, which is, in a kite, the perpendicular bisector of at least one diagonal is the other diagonal. To understand it fully, draw a kite in your notebook. In your kite, draw diagonals. In each vertices, write the following letters to represent them. Start with the tip of the head of the kite. Write W. For the next vertex, write O. Next vertex is R. And last vertex is D. Given the kite WORD with diagonals segment WR and segment OD, we will prove that segment WR is the perpendicular bisector of segment OD. What could be the first statement that we will write in the two-column proof? Correct! The kite WORD with diagonals segment WR and segment OD. The reason for that is it is given. For the second statement, what could it be? That's right! Segment WO is congruent to segment WD, and segment OR is congruent to segment DR. The reason is definition of kite. For the third statement, what could it be? Correct! WO is congruent to WD, and OR is congruent to DR. The reason is definition of congruent segments. And the last statement is very good! Segment WR is perpendicular to segment OD. And the reason for that is if a line contains 2 points, each of which is equidistant from the endpoints of a segment, then the line is the perpendicular bisector of the segment. To sum up the first theorem related to kite, which is, in a kite, the perpendicular bisector of at least one diagonal is the other diagonal. Means that one of the diagonals divides the other into two equal parts. Remember that a diagonal is a line segment that connects two opposite corners of a polygon. We are not yet done because we still have another theorem to prove. So, sit back and relax. Don't go away. We will be back after the break.
The Radyo Z-Eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
Let us proceed now to another theorem related to kite, which is the area of a kite is half the product of the lengths of its diagonals. In your notebook, draw another kite and name its vertices with the following letters. Let us start at the vertex of the head of the kite as P. Then, next is E. At the tail as R. And last vertex as O. Draw the diagonals as well and name the point of intersection of the two diagonals as W. The given is kite R-O-P-E. We will prove that the area of kite R-O-P-E is equal to 1/2 of the product of OE and PR. So, in the two-column proof, what would be the first statement? Correct! Kite R-O-P-E. The reason is given. What could be the next statement? That's right! Segment PR is perpendicular to segment OE. The reason is that the diagonals of a kite are perpendicular to each other. How about the third statement? Correct! Area of kite ROPE is equal to area of triangle OPE plus area of triangle ORE. The reason is area addition postulate. What is the fourth statement? Very good! Area of triangle OPE is equal to 1/2 of the product of OE and PW. And area of triangle ORE is equal to 1/2 of the product of OE and WR. And the reason is area formula for triangles. How about the fifth statement? Correct! The area of the kite, which is ROPE, is equal to 1/2 of the product of OE and PW plus 1/2 of the product of OE and WR. The reason is substitution. What is now the sixth statement? Very good! Area of kite ROPE is equal to 1/2 of the product of OE and the sum of PW and WR. The reason for that is distributive property of equality. What should be the next statement? That's right! PW plus WR is equal to PR. The reason is SAP, segment addition postulate. And what could possibly be the last statement? Very good! It is the area of kite ROPE is equal to 1/2 of the product of OE and PR. And the reason is substitution. Now, we have proven the theorems that are related to kite. These theorems are used to solve problems that involve finding certain measurement of the parts of the kite. Let us try to apply it in a problem. Are you ready? In your notebook, try to solve what is asked in every problem. Given that the quadrilateral PLAY is a kite. For number 1, it is given that the diagonal PA equals 12 centimeters and the diagonal LY is equal to 6 centimeters. What do you think is the area of kite PLAY? I repeat, given that the quadrilateral plane is a kite. For number 1, it is given that the diagonal PA equals 12 centimeters and the diagonal LY equals 6 centimeters. What do you think is the area of kite plane? To get the area of the kite, substitute the given values to the formula. The formula would be area of the kite PLAY is equal to 1/2 of the product of PA and LY. If we substitute the given values, it will become area of the kite PLAY equals 1/2 times 12 times 6. So, 1/2 times 12 times 6 is 36. Therefore, the area of the kite PLAY is 36 centimeters. Did you get it right? How did we solve for the area of kite PLAY? Correct! We use the formula area of the kite PLAY is equal to 1/2 of the product of PA and LY, where PA and LY represent the measurements of the two diagonals of the kite PLAY. Very good! Let us try another example. It is given that quadrilateral PLAY is a kite. Another given information is that the area of kite PLAY is equal to 135 square centimeters. And diagonal LY measures 9 centimeters. What do you think is the measure of the diagonal PA? I repeat. Another information given is that the area of kite PLAY is equal to 135 square centimeters. And diagonal LY measures 9 centimeters. What do you think is the measure of the diagonal PA? Now, if you analyze the problem, we are looking for the missing measurement of the diagonal and not the area of the kite. How will you get the measure of the diagonal? To get the measure of the diagonal, the formula of the area of the kite can be used. The same process in finding the area of the kite. We need to substitute the given measurement to the formula, which is area of the kite PLAY is equal to 1/2 times PA times LY. It will become 135 square centimeters is equal to 1/2 times PA times 9 centimeters. To get the value of PA, just copy 135 square centimeters, and on the other side of the equal sign, just multiply 1/2 and 9 centimeters and PA. It will become 135 square centimeters is equal to 9 centimeters times PA all over 2. After this, you cross-multiply 2 and 135. The equation will now become 270 square centimeters equals the product of 9 centimeters and PA. Since we are looking for PA, divide both sides of the equal sign with the coefficient of PA, which is 9 centimeters. And we will get the value of PA, which is 30 centimeters. We will have more of this after the break, so don't go away!
The Radyo Z-Eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corbada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
I'm back! Let us get to know more about the kite. In your notebook, draw a kite. Name the vertices starting at the head as M. The vertex on the left as L. And the right as N. And for the tail, name it as K. At the same time, draw the diagonals. So, as I ask the questions, refer your answer on the figure. Are you ready? Very good! Question number 1. Can you name the pairs of congruent and at the same time adjacent sides of kite KLMN? Alright! It is segment LM and segment MN. The other pair is segment KL and segment KN. Question number 2. If LM is equal to 6, what is the measure of MN? Repeat. If LM is equal to 6, what is the measure of MN? Correct! The measure of MN is also 6. Question number 3. If Kn is 10.5, what is the measure of KL? I repeat. If Kn is 10.5, what is the measure of KL? Very good! The measure of KL is also 10.5. Question number 4. If Ln is equal to 7 centimeters and Km is equal to 13 centimeters, what is the area? Repeat. If Ln is equal to 7 centimeters and Km is equal to 13 centimeters, what is the area? Excellent! The area of the kite KLMN is 91 square centimeters. The area was solved by using the formula for the area of the kite, which is area of the kite is equal to 1/2 times 7 centimeters times 3 centimeters. Question number 5. If the area is 96 square centimeters and LN is equal to 8 centimeters, what is KM? I repeat, if the area is 96 square centimeters and LN is equal to 8 centimeters, what is KM? Correct! KM is equal to 8 centimeters. The measurement of the diagonal was solved by using the formula of the area of the kite. To summarize our lesson, kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of congruent and adjacent sides. The theorems that are related to kites are: in a kite, the perpendicular bisector of at least one diagonal is the other diagonal. The area of a kite is half the product of the lengths of its diagonals. I hope you learned something from today's discussion. That's it for today. Once again, this is Teacher Telma Bataluna Nanali at your service. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye!
Radyo Z-Eskwela Executive Committee, the Schools Division Superintendent, Eufemia T. Gamutin Sasu 5, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romel R. Handayan, OIC Curriculum Implementation Division Chief, Karina S. Frasco, School Governance and Operations Division Chief, Dr. Ruben J. Riponte. Members: Cecilia Morales, Dr. Hilda A. Opeña, Dr. Arlene B. Lim, Dr. Eldicris B. Calzadora, Dr. Dexter A. Siquinia, Nohara O. Pinute, Noemi P. Canales, Dr. Grace D. Pontillas, Virgilito C. Pabrices, Juanito Lapiceros, Engineer Norberto S. Manlangi, Jomar M. Dumupoy, Bob Dalan S. Milabat, Medard T. Ampin, and Paz Eugenia Villusino. Technical Working Committee, Productions and Communications, Lorely E. Quijano, Given G. Hinampas, Judyland D. Yu, Donna D. T. Bolifer, Mary Rose N. Resma, Riven Manuel, Irene Lea C. Manguhon, and Bessie Aya N. Banias. Social Media and Packaging Team, Christian and Hara L. Martesio, William R. Ranara, Joan T. Iscoton, Roberto S. Acusar Jr., May B. Istanyol, Richard H. Arellano, Clee L. S. Blanco, Ralph A. Tabanyag, Angelo Gutierrez Jr., and Jade Karen Araiz.
Oras na to karon mga kazi, it's already 10:52 na sa buntag. Again, alas G52 na sa buntag. And yes, we have just witnessed our first lesson presentation for today's episode, Sir Drew.
That's right, Teacher Mai. So we would like to say thank you and congratulations to our content presenter, isang Teacher 3 from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Ma'am Thelma B. Nanali, and together with her creative resource material developer, thank you so much and congratulations to Ma'am Christine Joy R. Dalugdog, also from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School.
Ayan, so naway mas naintindihan ng ating mga learners na nasa kani-kanilang mga tahanan po ang ating unang lesson presentation. And as promised, mga kazi, live na live nato siyang makauban karon. Diin to bago niya ang pipila nato ka mga frequently asked questions nga nagikan mismo sa ato ang mga suking tigpaminaw. And so without much ado, let us all welcome Ma'am Thelma B. Nanali. Ayan, hello Ma'am.
Hello, Mamay. Hello, Sir Drew. Good morning.
Yes, welcome
Sir
back
Ralph.
sa ato ang programa, Ma'am. Okay, so karon Ma'am, andam na ba ka nga tubagon ang pipila ka mga pangutana?
Yes po.
Okay, andam na.
So
Okay, so let's start, Sir Drew.
Yes, tama ka dyan, Teacher Mai. So first question dito, Thelma, how do you find the area of a kite? Again, the first question here, how do you find the area of a kite?
Okay, so in order to find the area of a kite, you have to follow this formula. Area, or A, is equal to x, y over 2. Or you can use A is equal to first diagonal times second diagonal all over 2. So that's the area of a kite.
Okay. So second question, man. Given the area and one diagonal, how do you find the other diagonal of a kite? So second question again. Given the area and one diagonal, how do you find the other diagonal of a kite?
Okay, since there are two diagonals, if ever there is only one diagonal given, and then given also ang area, so what you are going to do is we will have to manipulate the formula. So since the formula is A is equal to first diagonal times second diagonal over 2, so kung given ang area, let's say for example, so sa mga learners, pwede kayong kumuha ng ballpen at saka yung papel, no, so that you can follow. For example, ang area given is 36 square centimeter. And then the first or the one diagonal given is 8 centimeter. So ano yung isang diagonal? So by using the formula, so we will have 36 cm squared is equal to 8 tapos y, ang 8 nagrepresent siya sa x all over 2. So we are going to cross multiply. So 2 times 36, that will be 72 square centimeters is equal to x tapos 8. Ngayon, in order to solve for the value of x, so over 8 natin both side of the equation, over 8 over 8. So, na-cancel yung 8. So, x na lang yung natira sa left side of the equation. Then, 72 divided by 8 is 9. No? So, therefore, ang diagonal, the value of other diagonal is x is equal to 9 centimeters.
Okay, so what is important is ma-familiarize talaga nila yung formula natin.
Yes.
Opo. Okay, so now we'll proceed to our third question, mga kazi. What are the properties of a kite? Again, what are the properties of a kite?
Okay, so sa mga learners, again, pwede kayo mag-draw ng kite dyan sa inyong papel, no? So, these are the properties of a kite. Meron tayong two pairs of consecutive congruent sides, no? Okay, meron din tayong congruent non-vertex angle. So, di ba sa pag-cross ng two diagonals, naka-form siya ng perpendicular, forming congruent at non-vertex angles, mga 90 degrees. Okay, and it has a perpendicular diagonals. Okay, so yun na yun.
Ayan, so for our last question po, how do you prove a kite is a kite? Again, how do you prove that a kite is really a kite?
Okay, so in order to prove that a kite is really a kite, no? So if two disjoint pairs of consecutive sides of a quadrilateral are congruent, then it's a kite. Another one, if one of the diagonals of a quadrilateral is perpendicular to the second diagonal, then it's a kite.
Okay. Ayan, so maraming thank you, Ma'am Thelma B. Nanali, Teacher 3 from Nabuntra National Comprehensive High School, for being with us today, Ma'am. So congratulations once again and extend our regards to Ma'am Christine. Ayan, hello, Tin! Oo. So, si Ma'am Christine is ang kanyang creative resource material developer. And yes, before we say goodbye, doon na kayo mga bot pasalamatan o greet Ma'am Thelma.
Daghan-daghan jud ni Ma'am May. Okay, before
Take your
that,
time.
sa basahon sa nato na gusto na ko i-share sa inyo ang Book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Okay, good morning learners and parents at Davao de Oro. Kumusta na ba ang mga puso natin? Grabing mga pagsubok na dumating. No, maraming trials in life, but then God is in control. Isipin na lang natin na kung meron mang mga pagsubok, marami ding blessings,
Yes,
no?
po.
Overflowing blessings, natatabunan talaga yung mga trials na na-encounter natin, no? Lalong-lalo na sa mga learners, no? Yung walang mga hindi maka-access sa Facebook, yung walang radio, ano
Tama.
ba kaya, no? So, sana ma-resolve na natin lahat. Anyway, pasasaan ba't matatapos din ang pandemic na to? Okay, wag nating kalimutan and then pasalamatan natin ang Panginoong Diyos kasi we are breathing free air. Walang bayad po, no? Mahal ang oxygen ngayon. Okay? So, salamat din po sa ating Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Euphemia Gamutin at sa Assistant Division Superintendent na si Sir Romel Handayan, at the same time our OIC sa NNCHS po, no? Pero meron na kaming new principal. And then to all our education program supervisors, especially po sa aming new supervisor po si Dr. Renato Niño Franco Pakpakin, our new education program supervisor in mathematics.
Hello po, sir.
Welcome po, sir.
Yes, welcome po.
Pinaabtik, nag-meeting mi kagani na pinaabtik, no? Nagipang kumusta niya ang mga presenters and mga content developer. Lahi gito siya, murag natandog jud ang mga kasing-kasing ano, yang gibuhat, no? Kagipang kumusta gyud mi niya, kumusta na ba mi? And sa ako ang NNCHS family, especially sa math department headed by our department head, Sir Ben Camilo Salarda. And then sa ako ang mga kaubanan sa math department, labi na gyud kay Sir Ralph Cruz nga generous kaayo siya mo share sa iyang skills, siya gyud ang naga-edit, siya ang naga-direct kung every time nga naami buhaton nga kanang discussions. And then of course kay Pinay, kay Christine Dalugdog nga abtik kaayo yun siya maghimo sa script, no?
Opo.
And then kay Ma'am Jovelyn, kay Ma'am Melanie Helsano nga pag naami recording na agad na sila present, yun na sila kanunay. Sa RBI family headed by Dr. Arlene Lim, no, sa atong mga host si Dr. Drew, si Sir Drew. Di po mo din ako, Sir Drew. Si Sir Drew, si Ma'am May, Sir Ralph, no? So, salamat kay sa inyo ha, maabi-abihon jud kaayo mo sa atong mga TWG nga welcoming kaayo pag mosulod na din murag mawala ang kakulba. And then sa Zamora family tungod aning ilahang Z radio station, to my family, to my children, sa ako ang mga grandchildren, daghan jud kayo. My siblings, my mama Nena and my in-laws, no? And napaba ko nakalimtan. So sa tanan mga learners sa grade 9, basig na ko nakalimtan kay Ma'am Irene Manguhon, grabe siya gud kanunay naga-encourage ako, naga-follow up, no, kanang supportive kay ni si Ma'am Irene.
Yes po.
Yes.
Okay. And sa tanan nga mga learners, sa tanan nga mga parents, mga guardians nga naminaw karon, hinaut unta nga naamoy nakatunan, and mga learners ayaw mo kaulaw, pangutana sa inyohang mga math teachers, no? Ako po, willing po kumutubag sa inyong mga pangutana. Sa ako ang number 0912-251-4493. Thank you! Good morning again.
Yes! So nadungog nato si Ma'am Thelma B. Nanali. So, stay safe kanunay, Ma'am.
God bless
Stay
you, ma'am.
pretty, makaano ba? paspas pa sa virus, kumbaga makatakod ang ano ni ma'am? Cheerful, ka-charming. So congratulations, ma'am. And thank you so much for being with us today. So kita-kits mga next month pohon. Good luck and God bless sa inyong mga pagpangandam sa inyong next presentations. Okay, so 11:02 na po. And meron tayong mga pag-greetings pa shoutout diha ka side, Sir Drew.
Yes, Teacher Mai. And we would like to remind all our content presenters and material developers to please pass your raw materials ahead of time sa atong mga RBI editors para mas mapanindot pa jud ang ato ang lesson presentation here. And speaking of netizens, we would like to acknowledge atong mga nagtan-aw jud na mga netizens sa atong programa for today. We have Nieves Glinogo Lerio, Nelfi Jane Palma Balate, Ijen Mi Sagpang, Miraela Sarmiento Bakayan, Riza Gumban Carino, hi Riz, Lilibet B. Albasin, Michelle Sombrio Itis Niere, Rex Lansangan, Krisha Gian Milyapis Sabelia, hi also to RN Pacaro, Michi Kyle Orita, Rutzel Espinosa, Jeline Roluna, Mary Joy Vigafria Siniza, Shin Gumban Carino, Jill Condi Armando, and Lucina Togonon Laro. And hi to our head teacher 1 and school head sa Tuburan National High School, Sir Rogelio Eguno, og sa akong mga kaubanan din ha na naka-skeletal workforce. We have Sir Nilmar Corpus, Ma'am Lina Batino. We also have Ma'am Giselle Cartoneros, Ma'am Cristal de los Santos, and Ma'am Roblin Alboroto, and Sir Jerry B. Gumban. Hi po sa inyo. See you later.
So, ubay-ubay gyud ato mga netizens nga nakatutok karon sa ato ang Facebook Live, Sir Drew. Dugang pa shoutout, we have Michelle Sombrio Niere, Erica Kaman, Giselle Machika Kasanginan. Kasanginan, sorry po. Mayo Jean Jade Enriquez, to Evelyn Lim Obeja from Mako Heights Central Elementary School, Mako South District. Ayan, hello sa mga taga Mako South. To John Lloyd Kapaki Lisiones from Maparat National High School, Brenda Caspi Pamen, to Jolly May Poblete Bacas. Hello also to Glyza Jane Maay Larua from Mabini National High School, to Rowena Delphine, Lealyn Dabon Arante, to Merla Alcontin Munoz, April Faith, to Lucky Standarte, and hello also to Ruby Nano Charot, Ralph Darvis Cruz, and hello also to Angeli Sagulili Sara, to Itsaga pala, to Kathleen Joy Tinaytina, and to Debbie May Payota Abaniza. Hello also to Dan Gerald Ortego. Ayan, happy listening po sa inyo. Maraming thank you po sa inyong panunood at pakikinig, of course. 11:05, and I would like to say hi to my district head sa Nabunturan East District, to Ma'am Rosario A. Nuneza. Hello, ma'am. Good morning. And of course, akong mga kaubanan diyan sa Cao National High School, headed by our principal, Ma'am Norma Amber Ruiz. Ayan, hello mga igsuon. So, ayan mga kasi, kung doon na pa kamoy mga mensaheng buot ipaabot ka na mo, just feel free nga mo comment sa itong mga comment boxes tungod live gihapon kita karon via Facebook Live. And of course, sa mga kaka-tune in lang labaw na sa atong mga dear learners, we are encouraging you to notify us with your attendance. So ang atong attendance link naka-flash ato ang screen and nakapin sa atong mga comment boxes.
That's right. And later on po, after our lesson presentation, we will evaluate kung sino talaga yung napakaraming mga responses na nag-participate sa ato ang attendance link for today.
Okay, so it's already 11:06, and we shall now proceed to our second lesson presentation for today's episode.
Teacher Mai. So our second lesson presentation will be about Mathematics 10, and my topic na illustrating permutation. Makakasama natin dito bilang content presenter, isang teacher 1 from Mabini National High School. We have Sir Julius Ernest R. Miranda.
11:06 na po. Again, make your day math amazing as our teachers make our math lesson math dali at math saya. Huwag matakot mga kazi. Kaya naman po, tara na, magklase na ta!
Good morning, Davao de Oro. Good morning, DepEd family. And good morning, Mathematics 10 learners. Welcome to Z-Radio 88.5. Z-Eskwela, siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. I am Sir Julius Ernest R. Miranda of Mabini National High School, the Shoreline's finest school in Davao de Oro. And I will be your Mathematics 10 teacher for today. I know that you have been busy answering the modules given to you by your teachers. Nonetheless, do spare time to listen as we discuss another lesson in Mathematics 10. So today, let us continue to learn more regarding our lesson in Mathematics 10. Be in your study area as we begin our lesson for today. Prepare your modules in Mathematics 10, some paper and scratch paper, your pencils and ball pens. Also prepare some water and other materials you need to learn. Be comfortable and listen well. Are you ready, my dear grade 10 learners? I'm sure you are. Come on, let us learn about illustrating permutation. As we go through our lesson this morning, these are the things we expected to learn. In this lesson, you will be able to A. Illustrate the permutations of objects. Letter B. List the possible ways a certain task or activity can be done. Letter C. Appreciate permutations as a vital part of one's life. To start our discussion, let us first review our previous knowledge about counting principle. Let us have an example. Example: James invited his close friends Saikim, Marvin, and Francisco to his 16th birthday, which will be held at Gold Ridge Resort. He prepared a special table with chairs placed in a row to be occupied by his 3 friends. Review questions. Number 1. List all possible seating arrangements. Number 2. In how many ways can they be seated in a row? Number 3. Show another way of finding the answer in item number 1. Now, let us answer the following questions. For item number 1 and 2, list all possible seating arrangements of the 3 friends. So we have letter A, Saikim, Marvin, Francisco. Letter B, Saikim, Francisco, and Marvin. Letter C, Francisco, Marvin, and Saikim. Letter D, Francisco, Saikim, Marvin. And letter E, Marvin, Saikim, Francisco. For our letter F, Marvin, Francisco, and Saikim. Therefore, there are 6 possible ways they can be seated in a row. Now, this method is called systematic listing. It is because we have listed all the possible outcome in an organized and systematic manner. Another method in finding the possible outcome or seating arrangement can be made using a tree diagram. A tree diagram is a simple way of illustrating a sequence of events. To start, list first the given elements of the given set. So we have the 3 friends, Saikim, Marvin, and Francisco. Then, we will put an arrow and the possible person to sit beside Saikim. So, there are 2 possible persons to sit beside Saikim, and the rest is the last person among James' friends. So we have Saikim, can be Marvin or Francisco, then followed by Francisco or Marvin. For the tree diagram of Marvin and Francisco, just continue adding arrows and the names of the possible person to sit beside him. So we have, for Marvin, it could be Saikim followed by Francisco, or it could be Francisco followed by Saikim. Then, continue for Francisco. It could be Marvin followed by Saikim, or it could be Saikim followed by Marvin. After we created that tree diagram, we can now start to write the possible results. So, we have number 1, Saikim, Marvin, Francisco. Number 2, Saikim, Francisco, Marvin. Number 3, Marvin, Saikim, and Francisco. Number 4, Marvin, Francisco, and Saikim. For number 5, Francisco, Marvin, and Saikim. And lastly, number 6, Francisco, Saikim, and Marvin. Again, there are 6 possible ways on how James can arrange his friends in his birthday party. There is another method you can use to find the number of possible seating arrangement is by using fundamental counting principle. The fundamental counting principle states that if there are m ways to do one thing, n ways to do another, and o ways to do another, then there are m times n times o of doing those things. Now, let us try to solve our example problem using the fundamental counting principle. Remember this, using the fundamental counting principle can only tell the total possible outcome of the given situation, but it cannot get the exact list of the given situation. Based on our example, it can only tell us the total possible seating arrangement, but not the list of the seating arrangement. Then, m times n times o is equal to 3 times 2 times 1 equals 6 possible seating arrangements. For the values, m equals 3. In the first chair, there are 3 possible persons to sit, namely Saikim, Marvin, and Francisco. N is equal to 2. In the second chair, only 2 persons can sit because the first chair is occupied. O is equal to 1. In the third chair, only 1 could sit. He is the last person to sit in the chair. It could be among the 3. Remember the things we just finished discussing, because it will be important as we proceed to our main topic this morning. Now, let us talk about permutation. Permutation is an arrangement of all or part of a set of objects with proper regard to order. For example, the possible choices you have in creating your GCash password, arranging 5 different books in a shelf, and possible number of plate numbers can LTO create. These are examples of permutation. Because these examples, the order is important. Now, there are different methods in determining permutations. Methods in determining permutations. Number 1, systematic listing. Number 2, tree diagram. Number 3, two-way table. Number 4, fundamental counting principle. I know that you have learned something from our discussion, but we will still have more examples and real-life examples about permutation when we get back. For now, let us have a break for some reminders from Z Radio, Z-Eskwela 88.5. Do not go away, my dear learners. We are not yet done with our lesson. Just stay tuned and don't go away!
The Radyo Z-Eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
Welcome back, grade 10 learners. Now, let us continue our discussion. Please do take note and listen carefully, my grade 10 learners, as I will continue our lesson for today. Let us now have our examples of permutation. Example number 1. Suppose you secure your bike using a combination lock. Later, you realized that you forgot the 4-digit code. You only remembered that the code contains the digits 2, 3, 4, and 7. List all the possible codes out of the given digits. Determine the number of permutations made. Given digits 2, 3, 4, and 7. Asked, find the 4-digit code combination of a lock. Method, systematic listing. Solutions, list all possible codes. First, let us try to use the digit 2 as the starting digit. So, we have 2, 3, 4, 7. Then, 2, 3, 7, 4. Next, 2, 7, 3, 4. Followed by 2, 7, 4, 3. We also have 2, 4, 7, 3. Then, 2, 4, 3, 7. Next, let us start with digit 3. 3, 2, 4, 7. 3, 2, 7, 4. 3, 7, 2, 4. 3, 7, 4, 2. 3, 4, 7, 2. And 3, 4, 2, 7. Now, let us start with the digit 4. 4, 3, 2, 7. 4, 3, 7, 2. 4, 7, 3, 2. 4, 7, 2, 3. 4, 2, 7, 3. 4, 2, 3, 7. And lastly, let us start with the digit 7. 7, 3, 2, 4. 7, 3, 4, 2. 7, 4, 3, 2. 7, 4, 2, 3. 7, 2, 4, 3. 7, 2, 3, 4. So, these are the following possible 4-digit code combination of the lock. Now, the only thing to do is to count the number of possible combination and it have a total of 24 possible 4-digit code that we can use to open the combination lock of the bike. Now, let us check our answer using another method in determining permutations. Let us use the fundamental counting principle. So let us check. Given 4-digit combination lock with the digits 2, 3, 4, and 7 as the combination numbers. Solutions: L times M times N times O equals, so we have 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Remember that for the value of L, we use 4 because we have 4 digits to be chosen possibly. For M, we have 3 digits left to be chosen. Then N has 2, and lastly, O, we have 1. For instance, for the value of L, there are 4 possible digits we can select. Let us assume that we select the digit 2. Then, there will only be 3 digits left. For the value of M, there are 3 digits left that we can possibly choose. Let us assume we select the digit 3. Then, there will only be 2 digits left. For the value of N, there are 2 digits left that we can possibly choose. Again, let us assume that we select the digit 4. Then, only the digit 7 remains. So, for the value of O, we can only select the remaining digit, which is 7. So, 4 possible ways times 3 possible ways times 2 possible ways times 1 possible way equals 24. So, there are 24 possible ways a 4-digit combination can be used to unlock the padlock of our bike. Then, the answer we have in our first method is correct. I hope you have learned something from our first example. Now, let us proceed to our next example. Be ready, my grade 10 learners, and do take notes. Example number 2. A couple is planning to have 4 kids. On any birth, the children could be a son or a daughter. Use S to represent a son. and D to represent a daughter. We are going to use the tree diagram to illustrate the number of possible ways the couple can have 4 kids. Let us start by creating a tree diagram if the first child of the couple is a son. Tree diagram for the first child to be a son. So we have first child is a son. Second child can be a son or a daughter. Third child can have the possibility of a son, daughter, another son, and another daughter. Fourth child can have the possibility of a son, a daughter, another son, another daughter, a son, a daughter, another son, and a daughter. Now, let us create a tree diagram if the first child of the couple is a daughter. Tree diagram for the first child to be a daughter. So, we have first child is a daughter. Second child can be a son or a daughter. Third child can have the possibility of a son, a daughter, another son, or another daughter. Fourth child can have the possibility of a son, a daughter, a son, a daughter, another son, another daughter, or another son and another daughter. Now, let us identify the possible outcomes per diagram and count the total outcomes or permutation. Let us start. Tree diagram for the first child to be a son. So the first outcome, it could be son, 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 and son. Second outcome, it could be a son, followed by a son, son, and a daughter. For the third outcome, it could be son, son, daughter, son. Fourth outcome, it could be son, son, daughter, and daughter. Fifth outcome, it could be son, daughter, son, and son. Sixth outcome, it could be son, daughter, son, daughter. Seventh outcome, it could be son, daughter, daughter, and son. For the eighth outcome, son, daughter, daughter, and daughter. Now, let us have the tree diagram for the first child to be a daughter. For the ninth outcome, it could be daughter, son, son, son. 10th outcome, it could be daughter, son, son, daughter. 11th outcome, it could be daughter, son, daughter, son. 12th outcome, it could be daughter, son, daughter, daughter. 13th, daughter, daughter, son, and son. 14th outcome, it could be daughter, daughter, son, and daughter. 15th outcome, it could be daughter, 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 and son. For the 16th outcome, it could be all daughters. So, there are 16 possible ways they can give birth to 4 children. Then, again, we can check our answer using the fundamental counting principle. So, let us check it. Given 4 children and possibility of a son and daughter. Solution: L times M times N times O equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Remember, in each value of L, M, N, and O, we can only have 2 choices as a child. It can be a son or a daughter. Then, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 16. So, there are 16 possible ways they can give birth to 4 children. Therefore, our answer is correct. I hope you learned something from our discussion. When we get back, we will have a generalization of the topic. I will also give some items in your modules which you will answer on your own. Let us have a break again for some reminders, but don't go away, my dear grade 10 learners. Here on Z Radio, Z-Eskwela 88.5. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw!
The Radyo Z-Eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
We are back, grade 10 learners. You have now learned on what is permutation and how to illustrate permutations in different ways. Let us go back and define what is permutation and enumerate the different ways we can illustrate permutation. Permutation is an arrangement of all or part of a set of objects with proper regard to order. For example, the possible choices you have in creating your GCash password. Arranging 5 different books in a shelf. Possible number of plate numbers can LTO create. Now, methods in determining permutations. Number 1, systematic listing. Number 2, tree diagram. Number 3, two-way table. Number 4, fundamental counting principle. As for our assessment, please continue to answer all the exercises in your Mathematics 10 module for quarter 3. Try to answer the activities honestly, then check them using the answer key provided to you. Be patient enough and do take time. Take some break and rest. Then, use what you have learned today to answer the tasks given to you by your respective teachers in your weekly home learning plan. Be sure to submit your output to your mathematics teachers on Friday. To all the listeners out there, especially to the Mathematics 10 learners with their parents, thank you so much for being with me and learning while being safe with your family. Again, this is Sir Julius Ernest R. Miranda of Mabini National High School. Be with us again next time as we tackle more Mathematics 10 topics. Only here on Z-Radio 88.5, Z-Eskwela, Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw.
Radyo Z-Eskwela Executive Committee. The School's Division Superintendent, Eufemia T. Gamutin Seso 5. Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romel R. Handayan. OIC Curriculum Implementation Division Chief, Karina S. Frasco. School Governance and Operations Division Chief, Dr. Ruben J. Riponte. Members, Cecilia Morales, Dr. Hilda A. Opeña, Dr. Arlene B. Lim, Dr. Eldecris B. Calzadora, Dr. Dexter A. Siquinia, Nohara O. Pinute, Noemi P. Canales, Dr. Grace D. Pontillas, Virgilito C. Pabrices, Juanito Lapiceros, Engineer Norberto S. Manlangit, Jomar M. Dumupoy, Bob Dalan S. Milabat, Medard T. Ampit, and Paz Eugenia Villusino. Technical Working Committee, Productions and Communications, Lorely E. Quijano, Given G. Hinampas, Judyland D. U, Donna D. T. Bolifer, Mary Rose N. Resma, Riwen Manuel, Irene Lea C. Manguhon, and Bessie Aya N. Banians. Social Media and Packaging Team, Christian Anhara L. Martesio, William R. Ranara, Joan T. Iscoton, Roberto S. Acusar Jr., May B. Istaniol, Richard H. Arellano, Glee L. S. Blanco, Ralph A. Tabanyag, Angelo Gutierrez Jr., and Jade Karen Araiz.
5.
11:33 na po ang ating oras ngayon, mga ka-Z, and time check is atid ka nato ni Vice Governor Maria Carmen Zamora. And yes, Sir Drew, we're done airing our second lesson presentation for today's episode po.
That's right, Teacher Mai. So, nais namin pasalamatan at i-congratulate ang ating content presenter na isang Teacher 1 from Mabini National High School, Sir Julius Ernest R. Miranda, sa kanyang presentation for the Mathematics 10 illustrating permutation.
Ayan, so thank you so much, Sir Julius, and good luck also, and God bless sa imuhang preparations for your next presentation. And speaking of content presenters and material developer, we are again reminding you, lalong-lalo na sa mga sasalang this week na hindi pa nakapag-submit, and of course for next week, to kindly submit your materials ahead of time kung mahimo, para mahatagan nato og taas-taas nga panahon ang ato ang team labaw na ang atong mga editors nga ma-check ang inyong mga materials ug ma-enhance kung dunay angay nga i-enhance bago nato masalang dinhi sa ato ang programa. Ug daghan kayong salamat sa inyong makanunayong pagsabot.
That's right. And also, reminder po sa ating mga grade 10 learners to fill out our attendance link for today, which is the https://tinyurl.com/Radyo Z-Eskwela 0413. So, laton dyan na mo na. And also, we will be telling you kung sino din talagang maraming mga responses na mga schools na nag-participate sa atong episode for today.
Yes, so kung meron pa po kayong mga mensaheng nais ipabot sa amin, just keep sending it. So just keep it coming, mga ka-Z. Tungod atuan ng tagaan ug pagtagad. And speaking of pagtagad, tagaan na itong pagtagad na imong mga pag-greetings diha, Sir Drew.
Tagdo na to ni Teacher Mai. So we would like to acknowledge our netizens. We have Ma'am Amy Rose Liwa, Ninfa Agad Pulinar Misias from Manat National High School. Hi po, Ma'am. Ernita Roche Pacheco from Mangayan National High School. Philip Luis Mepco, or Mipico, if I'm right. Hazel May Aling Quasito, shoutout from Lorenzo Escarmento Senior National High School. Hi, Sir Liray, ang kanilang principal dyan. And that was my alma mater in high school. Nico Ann Casiano Isuerte, Altea Rose Abukay Castañas from Nuevo Iloco National High School. And shoutout din sa principal na former teacher ko din, Sir Gerardo Caase, and also sa kanyang kapikas na principal pod sa Andili National High School, Ma'am Melanie Caase. And also Mark Labsan. And shoutout din sa ating sa aming PSDS dyan sa Maob District, Ma'am Toto Teves. Hi, Ma'am.
Okay, so alas 11:35 na po at nais nating pasalamatan ang ating mga program sponsors. Maraming thank you po to Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated,
Maverick Builders Incorporated,
Mitch Construction and Supply,
Arkikens Architectural Construction and Supply,
DB Construction and Supply,
Kanaway Builders Corporation,
Phoenix Curvada Tagum Gasoline Station,
Master Construction and Supplies,
Mackenzie Builders,
and Jeep and H Construction Incorporated.
Yes, buto sab natong pasalamatan ng Metro Gear Construction Corporation,
Nan Builders and Development Services Corporation,
Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated,
Wing Construction Company,
Rangay Construction and Supply,
East Sussex Enterprise,
WM Construction.
Hello to Councilor Bugi and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo,
Acon Builders and Supply,
Apex Mining Company Incorporated,
og sa Pahati Construction. Ayan, maraming salamat po sa mga kakatsunin lang, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga dear learners. Again, we are inviting you to notify us with your attendance. So kindly access po our attendance link. Nakapin ka na sa ato ang comment boxes, and of course, naka-flash sa ato ang screen karon.
And also, for the benefit of everyone, so even though you are not a learner coming from Davao de Oro, kung na kay mga amigo nasa mga sikbit na mga lalawigan or even the entire Philippines, kindly tell them to like and subscribe our YouTube channel, which is the Radyo Z-Eskwela DDO. And para ma-notify mo, please also like and follow our our FB pages such as the Z Radio 88.5 DepEd Tayo Division of Davao de Oro and the Radyo Z-Eskwela DepEd Davao de Oro, because it's not only for our learners here in our province but also for the benefit of the entire Filipino learners.
Manatili pa rin nakatunin mga ka-Z. 11:37 na po kami magbabalik makatapos po ang ilang paalala.
Z-Radio! 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 Z-Radio!
Z-Radio 88.5. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw.
Katambalan ng pag-ahon, isang bansang puso ay pinag-iisa.
Nang diin, lahat tayo'y uunlad at aangat.
Ganyan tayo, kabrigada, diwa ng bayanihan, atin ang hanggang simula. Man ang mararating, mananatiling tayo ay magkasangga. Dahil sa tuwing kasama ka, kabayan at kabrigada, lahat ang ikawin gawin, bigat ay kayang buhatin. Ito ang pusong brigada, paalala ay pinapaganda. Pusong brigada eskwela, walang iwanan tayo.
Paaralan, tinatawag na tahanan.
Aalagaan, patuloy pagyamanin, kulay at hindi, panatilihin natin. Kapit lang,
Sama-sama,
walang iwanan,
mananatiling magkasangga.
langit ay kakampirin natin. Ano man ang mararating, mananatiling tayo ay magkasangga. Dahil sa tuwing kasama ka, kabayan at kabrigada, lahat ay kayang gawin, bigat ay kayang buhatin. Pusong brigada eskwela, walang iwanan tayo. Walang iwanan tayo.
Sabay-sabay na babangon, sama-samang ahon, ihanda ang sarili sa hamon. Ipag-ipigil sa pagsulong sa kinabukasan ng katuon, para sa di kalidad na edukasyon.
Balik-eskwela na naman, sa puso ang kahandaan. Handang isip, handa bukas, sa pagkakaisa ay may lakas.
Ito na ang new normal, online learning at modular. Di na kailangang mag-face-to-face, gamit ang cellphone at radio base. Yakapin na ang pagbabago, pahirapan, kaya natin to. Lakasan ang iyong loob, sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Kristiyano at katutubo, isang hanggarin saan patungo. Ipagpatuloy pag-aaral mo, tagumpay ay naghihintay sa'yo.
Balik-eskwela na naman, sa puso ang kahandaan. Handang isip, handa bukas, sa pagkakaisa ay may lakas.
Ito na ang new normal, online learning at modular. Di na kailangang mag-face-to-face, gamit ang cellphone at radio base. Yakapin na ang pagbabago, pahirapan sa bagong mundo.
Isang alang-alang natin ang ating kaligtasan sa bawat oras at panahon, magpakailanman. Hangat palagi ng ating paaralan ang matuto, gayon din maging ligtas ang kabataan. Tayo ay magkaisa, halina't sama-sama, kasali lahat, kasama lahat, para sa lahat. Pilipinas, maghanda ka na, balik eskwela na, tara. Tayong lahat sabay-sabay,
Pagkakaisa ay may lakas. Ito na ang new normal. Online learning at modular. Di na kailangang mag-face to face, gamit ang cellphone at radio base. Yakapin na ang pagbabago, pahirapan, kaya natin to. Lakasan ang iyong loob sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo.
magbayanihan na, magbayanihan na, bayanihan, pagtutulungan, walang kupas na kaugalian. Dagdag at tibay, sinasabuhay, galak sa puso ay walang kapantay. Panahon na naman ang brigada, pagbigisin, lakas at diwa. Tara na brigada na, brigada, eskwela, magkaisa, sama-sama. Brigada, eskwela, salin na buong barkada. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Ikaw ako, tayong lahat, hawak kamay, sabay-sabay, kapit-bisig, buong bayan. Tara na, kumilos na. Tulong-tulong sa pagsulong, hatid na kalidad sa edukasyon. Sa kabataan, saya at dunong, buong madla sabay na aahon. Panahon na naman ng brigada, pagbigisin, lakas at diwa. Tara na brigada na, brigada, eskwela, magkaisa, sama-sama. Brigada, eskwela, salin na buong barkada. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Brigada, magbayanihan na. Sabay-sabayhan na.
Laging handa. Laging handa. Baha, tagtuyot, sunog, lindol, bagyo, mga kalamidad na likas sa ating mundo. Napapahamak ang buhay at kabuhayan, kaya naman kailangan ng paghandaan.
Maging handa, maging alerto, tungkulin to ng bawat mamamayan. Kaya tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Laging handa. di inaasahang oras.
Kaya naman hindi na dapat hintayin. Unahan na habang di pa natataranta.
Maging handa, maging alerto. Tungkulin to ng bawat mamamayan. Kaya tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat nang maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat nang maging laging handa. Suriin mo mabuti ang iyong kapaligiran. Saan ka ba nakatira? Diyan ba ay bumabaha? Tuwing gamot, pagkain, kumot, pang sindi, first aid kit. Mga gamit panligtas ng buhay dapat mabitbit. At sakaling lumindol o sumabog ang bulkan, meron bang matadaanan palayo sa kasawian? Panahon na ay malupit at ang hangin hagupit. Mabuti na lang na tayo ay laging nakahanda. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat nang maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat nang maging laging handa.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Education with the support of World Vision Development Foundation.
Saludo, saludo, saludo ako sa'yo. Saludo, saludo, saludo ako sa'yo. Di mo alintana mga batikos at pangungutya, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya. Ika'y di sumusuko, lumalaban at nangangako, maihatid pa rin ang serbisyong totoo. Para sa kabataan, ginagawa ang lahat, maibigay lang ang edukasyong karapat-dapat. Kaya't ang awit kong ito ialay ko sa'yo. Deped ako'y saludo sa'yo sa katapatan mo sa Pilipino. Ngayong kaarawan mo, tanggapin mo ang pagpupugay ko. O deped ako'y saludo sa'yo. Saludo, saludo, saludo ako sa'yo. Ika'y pinangungunahan ng isang superwoman. Walang iba, Madam Leonor Briones lang naman. Sa ngalan ng serbisyo, dedikasyon sa trabaho, pagmamahal ng isang ina, nararamdaman ko. Ikaw ang humuhubog sa aming kinabukasan. Laging inuuna ang kapakanan ng kabataan. Kaya't ang awit kong ito ialay ko sa'yo. Deped ako'y saludo sa'yo sa katapatan mo sa Pilipino. Ngayong kaarawan mo, tanggapin mo saludo sa'yo. Saludo, saludo, saludo ako sa'yo. Saludo, saludo, saludo ako sa'yo.
Katambalan ng pag-ahon, isang bansang puso ay pinag-iisa.
Nang diin, lahat tayo'y uunlad at aangat.
Ganyan tayo, kabrigada, diwa ng bayanihan, atin ang nagkasimula. Man ang mararating, mananatiling tayo ay magkasangga. Dahil sa tuwing kasama ka, kabayan at kabrigada, lahat ang ika'y gawin, bigat ay kayang buhatin. Ito ang pusong brigada, paalay pinapaganda. Pusong brigada eskwela, walang iwanan tayo.
Paaralan, tinatawag na tahanan.
Aalagaan, patuloy pagyamanin, kulay at hindi, panatilihin natin.
Ito lang,
Kapit lang,
sama-sama,
walang iwanan.
mananatiling magkasangga.
Langit ay kakampirin natin, ano man ang mararating, mananatiling tayo ay magkasangga. Dahil sa tuwing kasama ka, kabayan at kabrigada, lahat ay kayang gawin, bigat ay kayang buhatin. Pusong brigada eskwela, walang iwanan tayo. Walang iwanan tayo.
Tara na, brigada na, brigada, eskwela, magkaisa, sama-sama. Brigada, eskwela, salin na buong barkada. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na.
Kini ang Siguradong Lingaw.
Siguradong lingaw.
Siguradong Kuyaw.
Siguradong kuyaw.
88.5 Z-Radio.
At lang siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong kuyaw. Para sa Bulawan na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawan na pagsipya, Z-Radio. Sugata ang
Alas 11:56 na mga kazi, ugting paniudto na gyud. Ayan, so hopefully no nakaandam na mo diha alang sa inyong mga paniudto.
Yes.
Ug sa mga nangaon na gid karong mga orasa, ayan, magpakabusog po kayo and enjoy your meal everyone.
That's right. And bago tayo magpaalam, Teacher Mai, so nais naming pasalamatan ang lahat ng mga learners na nakatutok sa ating programa for today and also sa kanilang mga parents and also to our fellow teachers across the province. Thank you so much for supporting the Radyo Z-Eskwela here sa Z-Radio.
Ayan, so sa mga kakatune in lang o sa mga wala pa naka-access sa atong attendance link, we are inviting you once again. Our link for today is https://tinyurl.com/Radyo Z-Eskwela 0413. Ayan, at nais nating acknowledge ang ating Team Tuesday na present today.
Yes!
Ayan, we have our VMix operator, Kuya Tata naman, Sir Ralph Tabanyag.
Yes, get well soon, Sir Tata.
Hello,
and
Kuya Tata.
also to Ma'am May Estanyon.
Our Secretariat, Ma'am Bessie Ayabanez.
And nandito na ang susunod na anchor para sa ating programa, Teacher Given Hinampas.
Yes, susunod na si Sir Given. Okay, so 11:57 na po. Again, kung meron po kayong mga messages, just keep it coming mga kazi. So, feel free nga mo-comment sa itong mga comment boxes. Daghang salamat for being with us for the first 2 hours po. So, samahan niyo po si Sir Given hanggang alas 2 ng hapon. At bukas, abangan niyo pa rin po ang ating programa. Mabati yun ninyo adlawang tanan, mga kazi. Dinhi ka na sa inyong paboritong radio station, ang Z-Radio 88.5, ang istasyong Siguradong Lingaw.
Siguradong Kuyaw.
And yes, daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw ka namo. Walay balhinay, pabilin lang sa pag-tune in. God bless us all.
Hoy, tara, magklase na ta! Tara, tara! Sige, sige! Let's go!
Kunin na ang radyo, hanapin ang Z-Radio. Halika na at makinig, mag-aaral tayo! Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, makinig, matuto. Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, may matutuhan bago. Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, siguradong masaya. Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela. Umulan man umaraw, edukasyo'y susulong. Kaya halika na, mag-aaral tayo! Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, makinig, matuto. Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, may matutuhang bago. Sa Radyo Z-Eskwela, siguradong masaya. Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela.
Handog ng DepEd Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela, siguradong masaya!
Let's go!
Saludo, saludo, saludo ako sa iyo. Saludo, saludo, saludo ako sa iyo. Di mo alintana mga batikos at pangungutya, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya. Ika'y di sumusuko, lumalaban at nangangako, maihatid pa rin ang serbisyong totoo. Para sa kabataan, ginagawa ang lahat, maibigay lang ang edukasyong karapat-dapat. Kaya't ang awit kong ito, ialay ko sa'yo. DepEd ako'y saludo sa'yo, sa katapatan mo sa Pilipino. Ngayong kaarawan mo, tanggapin mo ang pagpupugay ko. O DepEd ako'y saludo sa'yo. Saludo, saludo, saludo ako sa'yo. Ika'y pinangungunahan ng isang superwoman, walang iba, Madam Leonor Briones lang naman. Sa ngalan ng serbisyo, dedikasyon sa trabaho, pagmamahal ng isang ina, nararamdaman ko. Ikaw ang humuhubog sa aming kinabukasan, laging inuuna ang kapakanan ng kabataan. Kaya't ang awit kong ito, ialay ko sa'yo. DepEd ako'y saludo sa'yo, sa katapatan mo sa Pilipino. Ngayong kaarawan mo, tanggapin mo ang pagpupugay ko. O DepEd ako'y
Ang programang maghatod og good vibes ug mga inspirasyon sa matag pamilya kauban si Mari Vice Governor Maricar Zamora. Saire Mare. Paminaw kada Martes alas 8 hangtod alas 10 sa buntag. Saire Mare sa Z Radio 88.5. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. Saire Mare.
One station, all the hits.
Z Radio 88.5.
Pre, unsa din ang 88.5?
Z Radio.
Unsa man po ng Z Radio?
88.5.
Ah, kuyawa, oy!
Ma 88.5 o Z Radio man, kamo na minaw sa Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw, Z Radio 88.5. Usa ka ba kateki? Pindot diri, pindot dito. Ang inyong bagong Z Radio may application na. Mag-download sa Android App Store ug Z Radio application aron masking asa ka man moadto, Luzon, Visayas ug Mindanao o masking naka sa Zimbabwe. Makapaminaw ka sa Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw, Z Radio 88.5.
Z Radio 88.5.
Nagasibya gikan sa bulawanong probinsya sa Davao de Oro. Kini ang Siguradong Lingaw,
Siguradong lingaw,
Siguradong Kuyaw,
Siguradong kuyaw.
88.5 Z Radio.
This is Z Radio 88.5.
Z Radio 88.5. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw.
Check our time, it's 12:05 in the afternoon and you're still tuning in to Z Radio 88.5 on your radio dial, ang istasyong Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw. Para sa atong programang Radyo Z-Eskwela, Siguradong Masaya. And I will be with you. My name is Teacher Given all the way from Monte Vista National High School. At ako po ang makakasama ninyo hantod alas 2 ang takna sa hapon para sa pagpadayon ni ining ato ang Tuesday edition sa Radyo Z-Eskwela. Ladies and gentlemen, daghan kayong salamat sa mga nakatutok sa ato gikan pa man alas 10 hantod karong mga taknaa, and we would like to request everyone and encourage every one of you na nakatutok sa ato ang ubanimin ninyo hantod alas 2 sa hapon para ato ang makompleto tanang lesson presentations nga ato ang giandam alang ug alang lamang gyud kaninyo. Once again, maayong udto sa tanan. I hope nga nakahinay-hinay na taog pagpaniudto din ha. Mas maayo nga ato ang maminaw kita ni ining ato ang programa nga busog ang ato ang mga tiyan kay aron mas lami ang pagdigest pod nato dili lang sa pagkaon nga ato ang nakauno karong mga taknaa apan of course ato ang mga lesson presentations nga gihatod kaninyo. I hope nga naata sa maayong kahimtang and ipadayon nato ang ato ang madasigon nga pagpaminaw ni ining atong programa matag adlaw nga tanan. Of course, once again, ato asang itimbaya ang ato ang Schools Division Superintendent. Hello and happy listening to Ma'am Eufemia Gamutin, also to our ASDS, Dr. Romel Handayan. Hello also to our two chiefs, Dr. Ruben Riponte, and hello to our program director, and at the same time, our CID-OIC chief sa CID mga kaigsuunan, Dr. Arlene Lim. Hello also to all our education program supervisors na maabtikon kaayo, very supportive and very maingon jud nato no nga ginaalalayan nila ang ato ang mga teachers, especially in providing technical assistance sa ato ang tanan. Special mention nato our newest Education Program Supervisor in Mathematics. Hello sa ako ang kanhing magtutudlo during my college days, Dr. Renato Pakpakin, maayong pagpaminaw. And to all our mathematics teachers from all around Davao de Oro, thank you very much for tuning in. Right now, let's have first a short recapitulation of what have we discussed already sa ato ang edition karong adlaw. In the first hour, nakauban nato si Ma'am Thelma B. Nanali, Teacher 3 of Nabuntura National Comprehensive High School, together with Ma'am Christine Joy R. Dalugdog of Nabuntura National Comprehensive High School in our lesson presentation for Mathematics Grade 9 with our topic, Proving Theorems on Kites. And in the second hour, ato apong nakauban at our content presenter all the way from Mabini National High School, we have Sir Julius Ernest R. Miranda for our Mathematics Grade 10 topic with the title, Illustrating Permutation. So I hope sa ato ang mga grade 9 and grade 10 learners na nakatuto karong mga taknaa, daghan kaayo tag mga nakutlo. And in case, if you have some questions, please feel free to approach your teachers in your respective schools para mas mahatagan nato or madipen ang ato ang understanding when it comes sa ato ang topic nga gihatag kaninyo karong adlaw. Nakauban sa nato ganina our very active and vibrant tandem na mga anchors, Teacher Maymay and Teacher Drew Manuel, para maoy mag-moderate sa ato ang programa, no? And right now, again, sa ako ang nagikaingon kaninyo, ako ang inyong makauban hantod alas 2 ang takna sa hapon para sa pagpadayon sa ato ang programa. Mabati gihapon taninyo pinaagi sa inyong mga radyo 88.5 on your radio dial ug usab sa ato ang mga nagkadaiyang social media platforms. We are still alive and alive mga kaigsuuna, no? Pinaagi sa ato ang Facebook live streaming at Z Radio 88.5 Facebook page. We are also live at DepEd Tayo Division of Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela DepEd Davao de Oro, and through our YouTube channel at Radyo Z-Eskwela DDO. And please don't forget to fill out our attendance link for today's episode. You may click our link na nakapost sa ating description box, and that's https://tinyurl.com/Radyo Z-Eskwela 0413. Again, https://tinyurl.com/Radyo Z-Eskwela 0413. And right now, sa ato ang pagtanaw dito sa ato ang secretariat, we have already received an overwhelming number of attendance from all our learners na nakatuto karon dinhi sa tibuok probinsya sa Davao de Oro, and we are so happy nga madunggan og makita namo nga kamong tanan na minaw and you are actively participating our school on air program. And with that, ipadayon nato, no, ang ato ang kadasig, and sa mga kakatune in lang, please don't forget to fill out our attendance link, or you may also utilize our comment section if you have some questions and greetings later on. Ato ka ng hatagag pagtagad, or you may send it to our mobile phone number at number 0953-211-3492. Again, 0953-211-3492 para huyan sa inyong mga katanungan and greetings later on. Oras nato, it's 12:11, and right now ato anang sugdan ug hatag kaninyo ang ato ang ikatulo nga lesson presentation for today's episode in mathematics. Next off, we'll be giving you our lesson presentation for Mathematics 11 with our topic, Mean and Variance of Discrete Random Variable. This will be presented to us by our content presenter, Sir Jester E. Pescadero, Special Science Teacher 1 of Pantuca National High School, together with the Creative Resource Material Developer, Sir Jeffrey T. Alfonso, Teacher 2 of Pantuca National High School. And once again, we will be discussing about mean and variance of discrete random variable. Kaya naman, to all our grade 11 learners, og sa tanang mga nakatutok sa ato ang programa karong mga taknaa, please get ready because we are now going to give you our lesson presentation in Mathematics Grade 11. Make your day math-mazing as our teachers make our math lesson math dali at masaya. Ubani ko ninyo, my name is Teacher Given. Tara na, magklase na ta!
A pleasant afternoon, learners throughout Davao de Oro. How was your day? Great! Today's discussion is anchored on most essential learning competencies number 7, 8, and 10 for a subject probability and statistics, with its topic mean and variance of discrete random variables. Are you ready to learn? That's great! By the way, together with you today is Sir Jester E. Pescadero, and with my content developer, Sir Jeffrey T. Alfonso from Pantucan National High School Integrated Senior High School. Our objective for today's session are as follows. First, illustrate the mean and the variance of a discrete random variable. Second, calculate the mean and the variance of a discrete random variable. And third, interpret the mean and the variance of a discrete random variable. And lastly, solve problems involving mean and variance of probability distribution. As a recall from your previous module on random variables and probability distribution, you already know that random variables is a capacity that connects a real number with every component in a sample space. It is a variable whose qualities are controlled by chance. A random variable have two types. We have the discrete random variable and a continuous random variable. Discrete random variables are sets of possible outcomes that are countable. For example, the number of students enrolled in STEM strand. Continuous random variable, however, are random variables that takes an infinitely uncountable numbers of potential values, regularly measurable amounts. Example, the average height of a grade 11 learner. Probability distribution of a random variable x is a list of possible values of x and the corresponding probabilities associated with each possible values of a random variable. For example, when a coin is tossed, the probability distribution is given as follows. A random variable can be given as the number of heads and the number of tails. So the probability that it a first head is 1/2. On the other hand, the probability that it is tail is also 1/2. Before going to a concrete discussion of our topic today, let's test your acquired knowledge with regards to our topic. So let's have the pre-test. Direction. On your notebook, write the letter of the correct answer that you think the best for the given question. Number 1. It is the central or average of its corresponding probability mass function. Then, it is the central or average of its corresponding probability mass function. A. Mean. B. Variance. C. Standard deviation. Or D. Probability. Number 2. Determine the mean or expected value of random variable below. Determine the mean or expected value of a random variable below. You have a first column, tile, with its corresponding numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutively. And on the right side or right column, we have number of times picked. For 1, we have 2 over 15. For 2, we have 4 over 15. For 3, we have 8 over 15. And for 4, we have 1 over 15. The choices are letter A, 2.53. Letter B, 2.54. Letter C, 2.54. 55, and letter D, 2.56. For number 3, which of the following statement is a description of low variance? Again, which of the following statement is a description of low variance? A. The probability of scores is almost the same as the mean. B. The data are close to the mean. C. Both statement A and B. Or letter D, none of the above. Number 4. These are two values that describe how scattered or spread out the score are from the mean value of a random variable. Again, these are two values that describe how scattered or spread out the score from the mean value of a random variable. A. Variance and standard deviation. B. Mean and probability distribution. C. Probability and statistics. Or letter D, mean and variance. Number 5. What must be the sum of probabilities P sub P x of the values in discrete random variables? Again, what must be the sum of the probabilities P of x of all the values in the discrete random variable? Letter A, 1%. Letter B, 10%. Letter C, 100%. Or letter D, 1000%. Okay, before knowing the answer of your pre-test activity, let us find out first some concepts that are necessary for our discussion today. So just skip that answer in your notebook, for we will be going back that later on. We have the mean of a discrete random variable. When we say a mean of a discrete random variable, it is the central value or average of its corresponding probability mass function. It is also called as the expected value. It is computed using the formula mean of a discrete random variable represented by mu is equal to the summation of x times p of x, where x is the outcome and p of x is the probability of the outcome. Since you already know how to get the probability of the outcome from your Module 1 lesson, this means that it is now easy for us to solve for the mean. Steps in finding the mean. Step 1. Construct the probability distribution for the random variable x. Step 2. Multiply the values of a random variable x by the corresponding probability. Step 3. Add the result obtained in step 2. Then the result obtained is the mean of the probability distribution. Let's proceed to the variance. The variance tells us how much we can expect the result to be deviate from the expected value. Thus, the higher the variance, the farther away the result can be from its expected value. That is from Math Connection in Digital Age Statistics and Probability of 2016. This implies that if the computed variance is high, the scores are very much scattered around the mean. On the contrary, if the computed variance is low, the data are closely concentrated around the mean. So in this lesson, you will learn how to compute and interpret the variance of discrete random variables. Okay, the formula to be used in computing the variance is equal to the summation of the quantity x minus mean raised to the power of 2 times p of x, where sigma squared is the variance of a discrete random variable, mu is the mean of the discrete random variables, x is the possible outcomes, and p of x is the probability of the outcomes. So the variance, as we can see in the formula, is represented by sigma squared. To solve for the standard deviation of the discrete random variable, all we need to do is to square root its variance in the formula. So that is, the standard deviation is equal to the square root of the summation of the quantity x minus mu squared times p of x. Since variance tells or describes how scattered the data is, that means it plays an important role in interpreting data. Okay, going back to your pre-test. Number 1, it is the central or average of its corresponding probability mass function. The answer is correct. That is letter E, or the mean. For number 2, the answer is 2.53. So you multiply 1 times 2 over 15 and so on until 4 times 1 over 15, then add all the results, then it will obtain 2.53. Number 3. Okay, so the answer is C. Since low variance data means that the data are close to each other and are close to the mean of the distribution. So on the other hand, high variance distribution has a data that are scattered and far from each other. For number 4, the answer is letter A. That's great. So when we talk about variance and standard deviation, we are also talking about the scatteredness or how spread that given data is. And for number 5, the answer is C. That's good. So the sum of all probability must be equal to 1 or 100%. Is there any clarifications? Feel free to ask, but as for now, we will take a short break. When we come back, let us solve and interpret the mean, variance, and standard deviation of a discrete random variable distribution. So don't go away. I will be right back after this break.
The Radyo Z-Eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
And now we are back. Are you still there? Good. For this time, let us have problems in solving mean and variance of a discrete random variable. Example: the probability that a customer will buy 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 items in a grocery store are 3 over 10, 1 over 10, 1 over 10, 2 over 10, and 3 over 10 respectively. What is the average number of items that a customer will buy? This time, let's create a table so that we can apply in finding or steps in finding the mean. For our solution, step 1 is to construct the probability distribution for a random variable x representing the number of items that the customer will buy. As we already know, the random variable x is the number of items. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And its probability given by p of x are as follows. For 1, we have 3 over 10. For 2, we have 1 over 10. For 3, we have 1 over 10. For 4, we have 2 over 10. And for 5, we have 3 over 10. Next step is to multiply the value of the random variable x by its corresponding probability. That is, 1 times 3 over 10 is 3 over 10. So we will create another column for x times p of x. Then we have 2 times 1 over 10 is 2 over 10. We have another 3 times 1 over 10 is 3 over 10. And another, we have 4 times its probability 2 over 10, so that is 8 over 10. And the next, we have 5 times 3 over 10 is 15 over 10. Next, let's proceed to another step. We have add the result obtained in step 2. Then the result obtained is now the mean of the probability distribution. We have 3 over 10 plus 2 over 10 plus 3 over 10 plus 8 over 10 plus 15 over 10, that is 31 over 10. Then simplify that one, we have 3.1. Therefore, using the formulas, for mean is equals to the summation of x times p of x. That means 3.1 is the mean. This implies that the average number of items that a customer will buy is 3.1. Now it's your turn. Try to solve the given problem by finding its mean. The scenario is, there are 4 balls in a box, 2 red and 2 yellow. 2 balls are picked at a time. So answer the following. Letter A. What are the possible outcomes? Letter B. What is the probability of drawing a red ball? And letter C. What is the mean of the given discrete random variable? As you can see, this problem is quite difficult or quite different from our previous example. But this problem involves your prior knowledge or your knowledge from our first module. So this problem is quite different from our previous example, since in this case, you need to construct first the table of distribution for its possible outcomes. Are you done? Okay, so let's try if we have similar answer. Okay, for letter A, so the possible outcomes are red, 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 yellow, yellow, red, or yellow, yellow. So that's great. For letter B, number of red balls for our random variable x. So as you can see from our possible outcomes, it could be 0, 1, or 2. And its probability that it is 0 is 1 over 4. The probability that it is 1 is 2 over 4. And the probability that it is 2 red balls is 1 over 4. Did you get it right? Good. Next is to solve for letter C. So in this case, we must apply the formula for mean of a discrete random variable, which is given by mu is equal to the summation of x times p of x. So as you already know, we have x is 0 times its probability 1 over 4 plus 1 times 1 half plus 2 times 1/4, and it will give us 1. So did you get it right? So the mean is 1, which implies that the average number of red balls that can be picked is 1. You did it great. Good job. Any clarifications? Feel free to ask. But this time, we will solve the variance and the standard deviation of a discrete random variable. By following these steps, it would ace the process in solving. Okay, steps in finding the variance and standard deviation of a random discrete variable, we have: first, find the mean of the probability distribution. Second is to subtract the mean from each value of a random variable. Third is to square the result obtained in step 2. Fourth is to multiply the result obtained in step 2 by its corresponding probability. And fifth, get the sum of the result obtained in step 4. Then the result obtained is the value of the variance of the probability distribution. Okay, so let's start with our example. The example is, the number of cars sold per day at a local car dealership along with its corresponding probabilities is shown in the succeeding table. Compute the variance and the standard deviation of the probability distribution by following the given steps. Write your answer on your answer sheet or on your notebook. Okay, so these are the table: number of cars sold represented by x for our random variable and its corresponding probability. We have 0, corresponding probability is 10%, 1, 20%, for 2, 30%, for 3, 20%, and for 4, that is 20%. Since the given probability is in percentage form, then you can convert it to decimal if you find it difficult to solve using percentage. So by following the steps, we have step 1, find the mean of the probability distribution using the formula or applying the knowledge we learned earlier. So we have summation of x times p of x. So we have 0 times 0.1, so that is 0. 1 times 0.2 is 0.2. 2 times 0.3 is 0.6. 3 times 0.2, that is 0.6. 4 times 0.2, that is 0.8. So the summation of that one is 2.2, meaning to say our mean is 2.2. Next is to subtract the mean from each value of a random variable x. So we will construct again another column for x minus the mean. So we have 0 minus 2.2, that is negative 2.2. 1 minus 2.2, that is negative 1.2. 2 minus 2.2, that is negative 0.2. 3 minus 2.2, that is 0.8. And 4 minus 2.2, that is 1.8. Step 3 is to result or to square the result obtained in step 2. So another column for this one, for x minus mean raised to the power of 2. So obtain result in step 2 for 0 is for x is equals to 0, we have negative 2.2. Square that one, so that is 4.84. Then we have negative 1.2 squared is 1.44. Negative 0.2 squared is 0.04. 0.8 squared is 0.64 and 1.8 squared is 3.24. Next is, we will multiply the result obtained in step 3 by the corresponding probability. So as we get from our step 3, we have 4.84 times its corresponding probability 0.1, so that is 0.484. So we will create another column for this one for x minus mean squared times p of x. Then we have 1.44 times 0.2, so that is 0.288. Then another one, 0.04 times 0.3 is 0.012. 0.64 times 0.2 is 0.128. And lastly, we have 3.24 times 0.2, so that is 0.648. Then as to our step 5, to get the variance is to sum the result obtained in step 4. So that is 0.484 plus 0.288 plus 0.012 plus 0.128 plus 0.648, a total of 1.56. Therefore, the variance of our problem is 1.56. So the variance is low. This means that the probability of selling a car per day is close to the mean, which is 2 points. And to solve for its standard deviation, so as I have said earlier, it is just the square root of the variance. So we have the variance is 1.56. Square root of 1.56 is 1.25. So the variance of the number of cars sold per day is 1.56 and the standard deviation is 1.25. Try this one. The number of COVID-19 patients admitted per day in a COVID facility along with its corresponding probability is shown in a table below. Solve and interpret the variance of the data. Okay, so we have the random variable x, we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. And its probability 0.5, 0.3, 0.15, and 0.5 respectively. Okay, are you done? If your answer for mean is 0.75, then you are correct. For variance, we have, okay, correct, 0.79. And for our standard deviation, square root of 0.79 is 0.89. You got it right. That's an awesome job. Any clarifications in solving variance and standard deviation of discrete random variables? Then feel free to ask on the comment section or our text hotline, for we are going to entertain it later on. This time, let's have an assessment of your learning throughout our learning session today. But prior to that one, let's take a short break. And don't go away, we will be right back.
The Radyo Z-Eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We in Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
And we are back. How are you, student? Are you still there? That's great. Now, kindly get a pen and a sheet of paper. Then answer the following questions. Direction, find the mean, variance, and standard deviation of the following probability distribution, then interpret the computed values. Number 1. The number of enquiries received per day by the office of admission in senior high school represented by X plus enrollment is shown below. Okay, we have the number of inquiries or the random variable X. We have 22, 25, 26, 28, 29, and 30, and its corresponding probability P of X. For inquiries 22, we have probability 0.08. For 25, we have 0.19. For 26, we have 0.36. For 28, we have 0.25. For 29, we have 0.07, and for 30, the probability is 0.05. You get it? Good. Okay, for number 2, in retrieving the output of the learner in a modular distance learning, a senior high school teacher recorded the following data. Again, in retrieving the outputs of the learners in the modular distance learning, a senior high school teacher recorded the following data. Compute and interpret the variance of the random variable. Okay, so the random variable represented by X here is the number of students who did not submit. Okay, we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. Again, the number of students who did not submit or represented by X is 0, 1, 2, and 3. And its corresponding probability are as follows. For 0, we have 0.4. For 1, we have 0.3. For 2, we have 0.2. And for 3, we have 0.1. Okay, so kindly find the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation of the given problem. Okay, are you all done? Okay, as your guide for your answer, these are. Okay, for number 1, the mean is 26.4, the variance is 3.74, and the standard deviation is 1.93. Okay, so if you got that one, then you did it well. But, kindly show the process. For number 2, okay, so the variance is low, which means that the score are very close to the mean, which is 1. You did it great today. So, pass that one together with your module in the next retrieval so that your teacher can commend your good work. That would be all in this afternoon. Have a blessed day and keep safe, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Radyo Z-Eskwela Executive Committee, the school's Division Superintendent, Eufemia T. Gamutin Seso 5, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romel R. Handayan, OIC Curriculum Implementation Division Chief, Karina S. Frasco, School Governance and Operations Division Chief, Dr. Ruben J. Riponte. Members: Cecilia Morales, Dr. Hilda A. Opeña, Dr. Arlene B. Lim, Dr. Eldecris B. Calzadora, Dr. Dexter A. Siquinia, Nohara O. Pinute, Noemi P. Canales, Dr. Grace D. Pontillas, Virgilito C. Pabrices, Juanito Lapiceros, Engineer Norberto S. Manlangi, Jomar M. Dumupoy, Bob Daylan S. Milabat, Medard T. Ampit, and Paz Eugenia Villusino. Technical Working Committee, Productions and Communications, Lorely E. Quijano, Given G. Hinampas, Judyland T. Yu, Donna D. T. Bolifer, Mary Rose N. Resma, Riven Manuel, Irene Lea C. Manguhon, and Bessie Aya N. Banias. Social Media and Packaging Team, Christian Anhara L. Martesio, William R. Ranara, Joan T. Iscoton, Roberto S. Acusar Jr., May B. Istaniol, Richard H. Arellano, Lee L. S. Blanco, Ralph A. Tabanyag, Angelo Gutierrez Jr., and Jade Karen Araiz.
Z-Radio 88.5.
Z-Radio! 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 Z-Radio!
Z-Radio 88.5. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw.
Z-Radio 88.5.
Magbayanihan na, magbayanihan na, bayanihan, pagtutulungan, walang kupas na kaugalian, nagtagatibay, sinasabuhay, galak sa puso ay walang kapantay. Panahon na naman ang brigada, pagbigisin, lakas at diwa. Tara na brigada na, brigada, eskwela, magkaisa, sama-sama. Brigada, eskwela, salim na buong barkada. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Ikaw ako, tayong lahat, hawak kamay, sabay-sabay, kapit-bisig, buong bayan. Tara na, kumilos na. Tulong-tulong sa pagsulong, hatid na kalidad sa edukasyon. Sa kabataan, saya at dunong, buong madla sabay na aahon. Panahon na naman ng brigada, pagbigisin, lakas at diwa. Tara na brigada na, brigada, eskwela, magkaisa, sama-sama. Brigada, eskwela, salit na buong barkada. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Brigada, magbayanihan na. Magbayanihan na.
Sugata ang adlaw with a smile. Tune in na sa radio, in alive. bisan nasa man good. Listen to the music and it feels so good. Ay gundang ihangtot, mapapuntagan pero lingaw man pod. Sa balay man o trabaho, bisan nasa man ka mo adto. Giving you the best music, diri lang sa Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawan na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawan na Pasibya, Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawan na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawan na Pasibya, Z-Radio. Don't stop. Sa Z-Radio, tagaan mong lingaw. Kay giving you the best music and everything, that's what make us proud. So turn your radio up, don't stop. Chillin' while tune in sa radio. All day, all night, diri lang sa Z-Radio. Isan o ka sa pakapadulong, sa balay man o trabaho. Giving you the best music and everything, diri lang sa Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawan na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawan na Pasibya, Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawan na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawan na Pasibya, Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawan na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawan na Pasibya, Z-Radio. Kay ang adlaw siguradong lingaw, dili magpaulahi kay siguradong tuyaw. Para sa Bulawan na probinsya, Z-Radio. Sa Bulawan na Pasibya, Z-Radio.
Katambalan ng pag-ahon, isang bansang puso ay pinag-iisa.
Nang dikiing, lahat tayo'y uunlad at aangat.
Hilyan tayo, kabrigada, diwa ng bayanihan, atin ang nagkasimula. Man ang mararating, mananatiling tayo ay magkasangga. Dahil sa tuwing kasama ka, kabayan at kabrigada, lahat ang ika'y gawin, bigat ay kayang buhatin. Ito ang pusong brigada, paalala ay pinapaganda. Pusong brigada, eskwela, walang iwanan tayo.
Paaralan, tinatawag na tahanan.
Aalagaan, patuloy pagyamanin, kulay at tinig, panatilihin natin. Kapit lang,
Sama-sama,
walang iwanan,
mananatiling magkasangga.
langit ay kakampiling natin. Ano man ang mararating, mananatiling tayo ay magkasangga. Dahil sa tuwing kasama ka, kabayan at kabrigada, lahat ay kayang gawin, bigat ay kayang buhatin. Pusong brigada, eskwela, walang iwanan tayo. Walang iwanan tayo.
Kazi, usa ka ba ka teki? Pindot diri, pindot dito. Ang inyong bagong Z-Radio may application na. Mag-download sa Android App Store ug Z-Radio application aron masking asa ka man mo adto, Luzon, Visayas ug Mindanao o masking naka sa Zimbabwe. Makapaminaw ka sa Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw, Z-Radio 88.5.
Sa Bulawan na Pasibya, Z-Radio.
Z-Radio 88.5.
Check our time, it's 12:57 in the afternoon and you are still tuning in to Z Radio 88.5, ang istasyong Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw. Ladies and gentlemen, atuan ang nahatag kaninyo our third lesson presentation for today's episode. This was brought to us by our content presenter all the way from Pantuca National High School. Hello to Sir Jester E. Pescadero, Special Science Teacher 1, together with our Creative Resource Material Developer, still from Pantuca National High School. Teacher 2, we have Sir Jeffrey T. Alfonso with our topic, Mean and Variance of Discrete Random Variables. So, daghan kayong salamat and congratulations for a job very well done sa atuang content presenter and creative resource material developer. And buot lamang pud natong itimbaya tanan natong mga magtutudlo nga naminaw karon all the way from Pantuca National High School. Maayong pagpaminaw ninyong tanan, and I hope nga naatas maayong kahimtang sa ato ang mga learners nga naminaw karon. We do hope right here nga daghantag mga nakutlong mga bagong pagtulunan with regard sa ato ang lesson for today in Mathematics Grade 11. So in case you still have some questions and some clarifications, please feel free to approach your teachers in your respective school so that you will be given deeper understanding with regards sa ato ang topic for today. We would like also to greet all our listeners, active listeners right now sa ato ang mga radyo and through our social media platforms in the online world. Right now we have ganina murag ni reach ta og tama ba 40 plus 60 plus viewers ato ang live streaming, and for that we would like to thank everyone, especially sa ato ang mga school heads and mga principal, district coordinating principals, public schools district supervisors nga nagkatambayayong gyud para mas mahatod pa sa ato ang mga learners kining ato ang programa, ang ato ang mga lesson presentations pinaagi sa pag-send kanila sa ato ang attendance link and also our link for our live streaming. And ato akining permintihon nga mag-uban-uban kita matag adlaw nga tanan niining ato ang programa para mas mahatod pa nato kaninyo ang ato ang mga leksyon at the comfort of your respective homes. So, right now ato usab nga itimbaya kining ato ang mga social program sponsors nga nagahatag yun og suporta niining ato ang programa. Maayong pagpaminaw and thank you very much Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, Apex Mining Company Incorporated, Pahati Construction, Tingog Party List, and of course our never-ending gratefulness goes out sa atuang Vice Governor Maria Carmen Zamora for letting us have our school on air dinhi sa atuang Sibiyahan all for free. Daghan kaayong salamat sa inyong overwhelming support. And here kita dinhi sa Department of Education magpadayon ang atuang drive and enthusiasm nga mas mapanindot pa ang atuang paghatag sa atuang mga leksyon ngadto sa atuang mga learners. So rest assured, murag dugay-dugay pa mangyud ta mag-uban-uban dinhi sa ato ang programa, mas ato apang paninduton og mas ato apang pangitaan og mga butang mas maka-improve pa sa ato ang paghatag kaninyo sa ato ang leksyon matag adlaw dinhi sa ato ang programa. And always remember nga kita dinhi naga-air ta Monday down to Sunday mga kaigsuunan, matag adlaw gyud tang magpalanog-lanog ni ining ato ang programa alas 10 hantod alas 2 ang takna sa kahaponon. So maunang ubanan nato kining ato mga programa dinhi, and right now ato ang yung nabati ang suporta sa ato ang mga teaching force from all over Davao de Oro sa tanang mga eskwelahan dinhi man sa Patag o sa Kabukiran, kauban gyud nato ang ato ang mga magtutudlo. And with that being said, ato ang itimbaya tanan natong mga magtutudlo dinhi sa District 1 gikan sa New Bataan, Compostela, Moncayo, Maragusan, also our teachers dinhi sa District Tupod, Nabunturan, Mawab, Laak, Mabini, Mako, Pantukan. Thank you very much for your overwhelming support mga kaigsuunan, and ato ang ipadayon kining ato ang panata ngadto sa ato ang mga learners nga ihatag gayud kanila ang leksyon nga deserve nila taliwala ni ining pandemya. Alright, padayon gihapon tang nagapahigayon sa ato ang live streaming pinaagi sa ato ang social media platforms at Z Radio 88.5, DepEd tayo Division of Davao de Oro, Radyo Z-Eskwela, DepEd Davao de Oro, and through our YouTube channel. At sa lahat ng mga kakatune in lang, please find time to fill out our attendance link na nakapin sa inyong mga sa ating description box. And that's https://tinyurl.com/Radyo Z-Eskwela 0413. Hello sa ato ang mga suking tigpaminaw from Compostela Central Elementary School SPED Center and Compostela National High School. Also ato ang gitimbaya ato ang mga magtutudlo og mga learners gikan sa Maparat National High School nga murag ubay-ubay kaayo ang nagpasa sa ilahang attendance for today. Maayong pagpaminaw. Hello to our school head din ha, Dr. Hilda Gales. Yes ma'am, maayong pagpaminaw, and also sa tanang mga magtutudlo nga naminaw karon din ha sa inyuhang sa Maparat National High School. Thank you very much for tuning in. And buot lamang pud na kong itimbaya ako ang mga kaubanan sa Monte Vista National High School main campus. Hello to our school principal for Dr. Jernaldine O. Perez, Ma'am Maritas Villa Corteza, our school principal for the senior high school, and Sir Genev Molianeda Miguel, our head teacher 3. To all our master teachers and our head teachers and our mga magtutudlo nga naminaw karon naka-duty on-site sa ato ang tulunghaan, maayong pagpaminaw, and I hope you are doing perfectly fine. And ato alang pong itimbaya ato ang mga teachers from Lagab Elementary School, ang school sa ato ang maabtikon og small but definitely terrible nga members atong secretariat, Ma'am Bessie Aya Banyes. Maayong pagpaminaw ninyong tanan. Oras nato, it's 1:05 in the afternoon. Oras sa tudka nato sa Apex Mining Company Incorporated and Pahati Construction. Right now mga kaigsuunan, atuan ang ihatag kaninyo our last and final lesson presentation for today's episode. This is for our subject in basic calculus. This will be presented to us by our content presenter from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School. We have Jessie Jem C. Celis, Teacher 2, together with the Creative Resource Material Developer, also from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Sir John Ray D. Aying. And we will be talking about or discussing about continuity of limit of a function. Kaya naman sa lahat ng ating mga senior high school learners, please get ready because we are now going to give you our lesson presentation in basic calculus. Make your day math amazing as our teachers make our math lessons math dali at math saya. My name is Teacher Given. Tara na, magklase na ta.
Hello! Welcome back to Z-Eskwela of Davao de Oro, kung saan siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. I am Sir Jessie Jem C. Celis, your teacher from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Integrated Senior High School, Nabunturan West District. We are now on the third week of the second semester, and I know you are excited with our new lesson today. So, what are we waiting for? Let's enjoy and have fun with our subject, Basic Calculus. Now, you can get your pen, your paper, and your module. Let's go! The introductions of calculus is limit function. Limit function is the backbone of the calculus, and calculus is called mathematics of change. The evaluation of particular limit is what underlies the formulation of the derivative and the integral of function. For the past 2 weeks, you had learned some of the topics of limits, special limits, and solving problem involving limits. For this day, our topic will be continuity of a function with the following objectives. So at the end of the lesson, you'll be able to learn how to illustrate continuity of a function, determine whether a function is continuous at a number or not, illustrate continuity of a function on an open interval, and lastly, solves problems involving continuity of a function. All of these objectives, I know we can achieve that today because I know you're doing your best. When we hear the word continuous, what came first into our mind? What could be the loop of the graph of a continuous function? Now, I want you to try this. Draw a graph without lifting your pen. And that is an example of a graph of continuous function. Very good. What does continuity of a point mean? Intuitively, this means that in drawing the graph of a function, the point in question will be traversed. We will start by graphically illustrating what it means to be a continuity at a point. We have this example. A graph of f of x is equal to 3x minus 1, and we know that this graph is a line. Now, the function continues at x is equal to 1. What do you think? Yes, you're right. It is continuous because when you trace the graph on the left side of the number x is equal to 1, going to the right side of x is equal to 1 without lifting one's pen. Hence, we can say that the function is continuous at x is equal to 1. Very good. For number 2 example, we have g of x is equal to 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 divided by x minus 1. If you will simplify the equation, we will come up with y is equal to 3x minus 1 and the graph will be a line. But since the original equation is a rational function wherein it has a denominator of x minus 1 and x minus 1 should not be equal to 0 because it will yield to undefined. Therefore, there is a hole when x is equal to 1. We will trace the graph from the left of x is equal to 1 going to the right of x is equal to 1. One finds that he or she must lift her or his pen briefly upon reaching x is equal to 1. So, create a hole in the graph. Thus, the function is discontinuous at x is equal to 1. Amazing! You got it! For next example, we have f of x is equal to 1 over x. And we will have this graph. The question is the function continuous at x is equal to 0? Let's find out. If we will trace the graph from the left of x equal to 0, going to the right of x is equal to 0, we have to lift our pen. Since the left of x is equal to 0, the function values will go downward indefinitely. While at the right of x is equal to 0, the function values will go upward indefinitely. In other words, if we write it in limit notation, we have limit of 1 over x as x approaches to infinity. Thus, the function is discontinuous at x is equal to 0. What if the graph is not given? Can we identify certain functions if it is continuous or not? Yes, we can. All we need is to follow the three conditions of continuity. A function f of x is said to be continuous at x is equal to c. The following three conditions are satisfied. First, f of x exists. Second, limit of f of x as x approaches to c exists. Lastly, f of c is equal to limit of f of c as x approaches to c. Or step 1 and step 2 are equal. If at least one of these conditions is not met, f is said to be discontinuous at x is equal to c. For number 4 example, determine if f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1 is continuous or not at x is equal to 1. For step number 1, substitute x is equal to 1 into x squared plus 2x plus 1. And we have f of 1 is equal to 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 1. And we come up with f of 1 is equal to 4. Therefore, step 1 or f of x exists. Proceed to step 2. For step number 2, limit of x squared plus 2x plus 1 as x approaches to 1. Using direct substitution, we have 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 1, and we have 4. Then, we can say that the limit exists in this function. For step 3, does step 1 and step 2 yields the same answer? Yes, you're right. Step 1 is 4, and step 2 is 4. We can say that f of 1 is equal to limit of f of x as x approaches to 1. Therefore, it is continuous at x is equal to 1. Very good. For our next example, I want to solve this. Determine if f of x is equal to x squared minus x minus 2 all over x minus 2 is continuous or not at x is equal to 0. We will check your answer after this break.
The Radyo Z-Eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
We're back. Let's check your answer. using the three conditions for continuity of a function, step 1, if x is equal to 0, then f of 0 is equal to 0 squared minus 0 minus 2 all over 0 minus 2. And we have f of 0 is equal to 1. Then f of 0 exists. For step number 2, limit of x squared minus x minus 2 all over x minus 2 as x approaches to 0. So using direct substitution, we have 0 squared minus 0 minus 2 all over x minus 2. And we have limit of f of x is 1. Therefore, the limit exists. For step 3, step 1 and step 2 are equal. Since it yields the same answer, which is 1, then f of 0 is equal to limit of f of x as x approaches to 0. Therefore, f is continuous at x is equal to 0. Very good! You're right! For the next example, solve this problem. Determine if f of x is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 2 all over x minus 2. Then, identify whether the problem is continuous or not at x is equal to 2. Solve this in just 30 seconds. Timer starts now. Time's up! Let's check your answer. For step number 1, f of 2 is equal to x squared minus 4 times 2 minus 2 all over 2 minus 2. And that is f of 2 is equal to negative 6 over 0, in which is undefined. Therefore, f of 2 does not exist. Therefore, it is continuous at x is equal to 2. That's great! You're right! Next example, we have piecewise function. Determine if f of x is equal to x plus 1 if x is less than 4 and quantity x minus 4 squared plus 3 if x is greater than or equal to 4. Remember, condition for the first equation is x plus 1 if x is less than 4. This equation will be our step 2. While for the quantity x minus 4 squared plus 3 if x is greater than or equal to 4. That will be our step 1. Let's proceed to step number 1. f of 4 is equal to quantity 4 minus 4 squared plus 3. That is f of 4 is equal to 3. For step number 2, limit of x plus 1 as x approaches to 4 using direct substitution. We come up with 4 plus 1, that is 5. Since step 1 and step 2 are not equal, we can say that f of 4 is not equal to limit as x approaches to 4. Then, the given f is discontinuous at x is equal to 4. Fantastic! You're doing great! For next two examples, I want to solve this. Determine if the following functions are continuous, the given value of x. Number 1, f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 at x is equal to negative 2. And number 2, f of x is equal to 1 all over x minus 2 at x is equal to 2. Solve this in 45 seconds. Timer starts now. Time is up. Let's check. For number 1 example, we have 3x squared plus 3x plus 1. Step 1 will be f of negative 2 is equal to 3 times negative 2 squared plus 2 times negative 2 plus 1. And we come up with 9. Therefore, f of negative 2 exists. For step 2, limit of 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 as x approaches to negative 2. And using direct substitution, we get 9. And for the last step, step 1 and step 2 are equal. Then, f of negative 2 is equal to limit as x approaches to negative 2. Then, the function f is continuous at x is equal to negative 2. Very good. You're right. Now, we are in the continuity of a function in an open interval. Let us consider this piecewise function. F of x is equal to x plus 3 when x less than or equal to negative 3. Then, x squared plus 2x minus 3 when negative 3 is less than x less than 2. And 2x plus 1 when x is greater than or equal to 2. Determine if the given function is continuous at x is equal to negative 3 and x is equal to 2. We have 3 expressions in one function with specific interval in each expression. It means we need to solve twice if it is continuous function. For the first 2 expressions, at x is equal to negative 3, f of x is equal to x plus 3. Step 1, f of negative 3 is equal to negative 3 plus 3, and that is 0. Step 2, since the left-hand limit of the given function at x is equal to negative 3 is found in the interval x less than or equal to negative 3, then the function f of x is equal to x plus 3 is used. Thus, we have limit of x plus 3 as x approaches to negative 3. Using direct substitution, we have negative 3 plus 2 is equal to 0. On the other hand, the right-hand limit at x is equal to negative 3 is in the interval negative 3 is less than x less than 2. So, we use the function f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3. Thus, we have limit x squared plus 2x minus 3 as x approaches to negative 3. Then, negative 3 squared plus 2 times negative 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. The left and right hand limits are equal at x is equal to negative 3. Thus, limit of f of x as x approaches to negative 3 exists. Step 3, using the result in step 1 and step 2, limit of f of x as x approaches to negative 3 is equal to f of negative 3. Therefore, f of x is continuous at x is equal to negative 3 since conditions step 2 and step 3 satisfied. Next two expressions at x is equal to 2. F of x is equal to 2x plus 1. Step 1, f of 2 is equal to 2 times 2 plus 1, and that is equal to 5. Step 2, since the left-hand limit of the given function at x is equal to 2 is found in the interval negative 3 is less than x less than 2. Then the function f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3. Thus, we have limit of x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 2 squared plus 2 times 3 minus 3 is equal to 5. On the other hand, the right-hand limit at x is equal to 2 is in the interval x is greater than or equal to 2. So, we use the function f of x is equal to 2x plus 1. Thus, we have limit of 2x plus 1 as x approaches to 2 is equal to 2 times 2 plus 1 is equal to 5. The left hand and right hand limits are equal at x is equal to 2. Thus, limit of f of x as x approaches to 2 exists. Step 3, using the result from step 1 and step 2, limit of f of x as x approaches to 2 is equal to f of 2. Therefore, f of x is continuous at x is equal to 2 since step 2 and step 3 are satisfied. Very good! We will be right back after this break.
The Radyo Z-Eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
We are back! For the next example, determine if the function f of x is equal to x squared plus 1 when x is less than or equal to 2, and square root of x minus 2 when x is greater than 2 is continuous at x is equal to 2. At x is equal to 2, f of x is equal to x squared plus 1. Step 1, f of 2 is equal to 2 squared plus 1 is equal to 5. Step 2, since the left-hand limit of the given function at x is equal to 2 is found in the interval x is less than or equal to 2, then the function f of x is equal to x squared plus 1 is used. Thus, we have limit of x squared plus 1 as x approaches to 2 is equal to 2 squared plus 1 is equal to 5. On the other hand, the right-hand limit at x is equal to 2 is in the interval x is greater than 2. We use the function f of x is equal to square root of x minus 2. Thus, we have limit of square root of x minus 2 as x approaches to 2 is equal to square root of 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. The left hand and right hand limits are not equal at x is equal to 2. Thus, limit of f of x as x approaches to 2 does not exist. Then, step 3, using the result in step 1 and step 2, limit of f of x as x approaches to 2 is not equal to f of 2. Therefore, f of x discontinues at x is equal to 2 since conditions 2 and 3 are not satisfied. For last activity, on page 17 in your module, activity 1, given that the piecewise function is defined by f of x is equal to 2x minus 4 when x is less than or equal to 3, and square root of x plus 1 when x is greater than 3. Answer the following items. Number 1, what is f of x at x is equal to 3? Number 2, evaluate f of 3. Number 3, find the limit of f of x as x approaches to 3 and it is left-handed limit. Find limit of f of x as x approaches to 3 and it is right-handed limit. For number 5, does limit f of x as x approaches to 3 exist? Justify your answer. For number 6, is the given function continuous at x is equal to 3? Justify your answer. For number 1 question, what is f of x at x is equal to 3? Then we all know that f of x is equal to 2x minus 4. And that is the answer. For number 2, evaluate f of 3. Then we have f of 3 is equal to 2 times 3 minus 4. And that is 6 minus 4. And we come up with 2. So the answer is 2. Then for number 3, find limit of f of x as x approaches to 3. And it is left-handed limit. Limit of 2x minus 4 as x approaches to 3. And we have 2 times 3 minus 4. And that is 2. The answer is 2. For number 4 question, find the limit of f of x as x approaches to 3. And limit of square root of x plus 1 as x approaches to 3, then square root of 3 plus 1, that is square root of 4, then we have 2. And the answer is 2. For question number 5, does limit f of x as x approaches to 3 exist? Justify your answer. Yes, since the left and right hand limit have the same answer, then the limit exists. Then for the last question, the given function continues at x is equal to 3? Yes, since limit of f of x as x approaches to 3 is equal to f of 3. Very good! That will be all for today. I know you do your best with your studies. That's why, sa Z-Radio Eskwela, siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. Bye!
Radyo Z-Eskwela Executive Committee, the school's Division Superintendent, Eufemia T. Gamutin Sasu 5, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romel R. Handayan, OIC Curriculum Implementation Division Chief, Karina S. Frasco, School Governance and Operations Division Chief, Dr. Ruben J. Riponte, Members, Cecilia Morales, Dr. Hilda A. Opeña, Dr. Arlene B. Lim, Dr. Eldicris B. Calzadora, Dr. Dexter A. Siquinia, Nohara O. Pinute, Noemi P. Canales, Dr. Grace D. Pontillas, Virgilito C. Pabrices, Juanito Lapiceros, Engineer Norberto S. Manlangi, Jomar M. Dumupoy, Bob Dalan S. Milabat, Medard T. Ampit, and Paz Eugenia Villusino. Technical Working Committee, Productions and Communications, Lorely E. Quijano, Given G. Hinampas, Judyland D. Yu, Donna D. D. Bolifer, Mary Rose N. Resma, Riven Manuel, Irene Lea C. Manguhon, and Bessie Aya N. Banias. Social Media and Packaging Team, Christian and Hara L. Martesio, William R. Ranara, Joan T. Iscoton, Roberto S. Acusar Jr., May B. Istanyol, Richard H. Arellano, Clee L. S. Blanco, Ralph A. Tabanyag, Angelo Gutierrez Jr., and Jade Karen Araiz.
Nagasidya gikan sa Bulawanong probinsya sa Davao de Oro. Kini ang Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw, 88.5 Z-Radio.
This is Z-Radio 88.5.
State of the Province. State of the Province. Mga katikaran, kalambuan, news and current affairs ug uban pang mga nagunang panghitabo sa Davao de Oro Province sa pagdumala ni Governor J.V. Tyrone Uy ilalom sa mas gipakusog nga serbisyong walang iwanan, aksyon agad, oro mismo. Inyong mabati matag adlawng Lunes alas 9 hangtod alas 10 sa buntag dinhi lang sa inyong paboritong sibiyahanan ang Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw, Z-Radio 88.5 FM sa dial sa inyong mga radyo. Busa, paminaw na, mag-SOP na kada Lunes. State of the Province. State of the Province.
Bansang puso ay pinag-iisa
Nang bitiin, lahat tayo'y uunlad at aangat.
Ganyan tayo, kabrigada, diwa ng bayanihan, atin ang nagkasimula. Man ang mararating, mananatiling tayo ay magkasangga. Dahil sa tuwing kasama ka, kabayan at kabrigada, lahat ang ika'y gawin, di ka tayo kayang buhatin. Ito ang pusong brigada, paalala ay pinapaganda. Pusong brigada eskwela, walang iwanan tayo.
Paaralan, tinatawag na tahanan.
Aalagaan, patuloy pagyamanin, kulay at tinig. Panatilihin natin, kapit lang,
sama-sama,
walang iwanan,
mananatiling magkasangga.
langit ay kakampirin natin. Ano man ang mararating, mananatiling tayo ay magkasangga. Dahil sa tuwing kasama ka, kabayan at kabrigada, lahat ay kayang gawin, di ka tayo kayang buhatin. Pusong brigada eskwela, walang iwanan tayo. Walang
Magbayanihan na, magbayanihan na, bayanihan, pagtutulungan, walang kupas na kaugalian. Nagtagatibay, sinasabuhay, galak sa puso ay walang kapantay. Panahon na naman ang brigada, pabigisin lakas at diwa. Tara na brigada na, brigada, eskwela, magkaisa sama-sama. Brigada, eskwela, salin na buong barkada. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Ikaw ako, tayong lahat, hawak kamay, sabay-sabay, kapit bisig, buong bayan. Tara na, kumilos na. Tulong-tulong sa pagsulong, hatid na kalidad sa edukasyon. Sa kabataan, saya at dunong, buong adlas sabay na aahon. Panahon na naman ng brigada, pabigisin lakas at diwa. Tara na brigada na, brigada, eskwela, magkaisa sama-sama. Brigada, eskwela, salin na buong barkada. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Brigada, eskwela, kilos na, magbayanihan na. Brigada, magbayanihan na. Sabay-sabayhan na. Sabay-sabay na babangon, sama-samang ahon. Ihanda ang sarili sa hamon, ipatipigil sa pagsulong sa kinabukasan ng katuon. Para sa di kalidad na edukasyon, Balig-eskwela na naman, isa puso ang kahandaan. Handang isip, handa bukas, sa pagkakaisa ay may lakas. Ito na ang new normal, online learning at modular. Di na kailangang mag-face-to-face, gamit ang cellphone at radio base. Yakapin lang pagbabago, pahirapan, kaya natin to. Lakasan ang iyong loob, sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Kristiyano katutubo, isang hanggarin san patungo. Ipagpatuloy pag-aaral mo, tagumpay ay naghihintay sa'yo. Balig-eskwela na naman, isa puso ang kahandaan. Handang isip, handa bukas, sa pagkakaisa ay may lakas. Face, gamit ang cellphone at radio base. Yakapin lang pagbabago, pahirapan, kaya natin to. Lakasan ang iyong loob, sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Isang alang-alang
natin ang ating kaligtasan sa bawat oras at panahon, magpakailanman. Hangat palagi ng ating paaralan ang matuto, gayon din maging ligtas ang kabataan. Tayo ay magkaisa, halina't sama-sama, kasali lahat, kasama lahat, para sa lahat. Pilipinas, maghanda ka na, balik eskwela na, tara. Tayong lahat sabay-sabay, pagkakaisa ay may lakas.
Ito na ang new normal, online learning ako dyan. Di na kailangan mag-face to face, gamit ng cellphone at radio base. Yakapin na ang pagbabago, pahirapan, kaya natin to. Lakasan ang iyong loob, sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo.
Hisgot Panglawas. Programang maghatod kaninyo sa mga impormasyon mahitungod sa hisgutan ng panglawas. Kauban ng atong mga eksperto. Paminaw matag Huwebes, alas 8 hangtod alas 9 sa buntag. Diri lang sa Z-Radio 88.5. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. Hisgot Panglawas.
One station, all the hits.
Z-Radio 88.5. Z-Radio 88.5.
And we are back here sa ating programang Radyo Z-Eskwela, siguradong masaya, right and only here sa ato ang sibiyahanang Z-Radio 88.5 sa inyong mga radyo. Kini maong istasyong siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. Ladies and gentlemen, oras satod kanato sa Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, and of course being brought to us by Apex Mining Company Incorporated. Ladies and gentlemen, atuan ang nahatag kaninyo our lesson presentation for our basic calculus with our topic continuity of limit of a function. This was presented to us by our content presenter all the way from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School. We have Sir Jesse Jem C. Celis, together with the creative resource material developer, also from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Sir John Ray D. Aying. Thank you very much and congratulations for a job very well done sa pag-prepare o paghatag sa ato ang leksyon sa basic calculus ngadto sa ato ang mga estudyante. And I do believe that our learners are actually very engaged into our topic right now. And in case nga aduna mo yung mga pangutana sa ato ang ginabalik-balik din hino, please feel free to approach your teachers in case you have some clarifications. Ladies and gentlemen, human na nato ang atuang usa na pod ka very fruitful, fun-filled and learning-filled episode for today. Tuesday mga kaigsuunan, April 6, 2021. I hope nga nahimo ming maanindot nga kabahin sa inyuhang adlaw karong adlawa. And as a sort of a recapitulation, atuang pasadahan tanan natong mga leksyon nga gihatag kaninyo karong adlawa. In the first hour, atong nakauban si Ma'am Thelma Binanali and Ma'am Christine Joy are dalugdog for our mathematics grade 9 lesson presentation with our topic Proving Theorems on Kites. In the second hour, atong nakauban si Sir Julius Ernest R. Miranda, Teacher 1 of Mabini National High School, for our Mathematics Grade 10 lesson presentation with our topic Illustrating Permutation. In the third hour, atong nakauban Sir Jester E. Pescadero of Pantuca National High School together with Sir Jeffrey T. Alfonso, and we talked about mean and variance of discrete random variable. And sa ato alang nahuman, taud-taud lang jud mga kaigsuunan, our lesson presentation for basic calculus with our topic continuity of limit of a function. Daghan kayong salamat Sir Jesse Jem C. Celis and Sir John Ray D. Aying of Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School. To all our content presenter and creative resource material developers nga nag-prepare sa ato ang mga leksyon for today, daghan kaing salamat, and we are looking forward for another great learning episode with you all sa mga musunod pang mga kabulanan ni ining ato ang programa. Sa tanang mga naminaw karon, no, daghan kaing salamat right up until this time, no, daghan gihapon kaayo tag mga viewers in the online world, and I'm sure daghan kaayo tag mga suking tigpaminaw nga nagpalanog-lanog gihapon sa kasamtangan pinaagi sa ilahang mga radyo. And with that being said, ato asang itimbaya kining ato ang mga suking tigpaminaw. Yes, hello to John Lloyd Capake Lisiones, Angel Mecca Mojabe, Christine May Panagsagan, Lyra Pilapil Ibrahim, Ma'am Donna D. Bolifer, Ma'am Abigail Panza, Ma'am Elisa Balondo, Shannon Yocor, Jessame Marimon, Glisel Ann Limboy, Phoebe May Corsino Gloria, Ramil Felicilda, Luz Eliza, Cara Missy Anoos, Chari B. Tranghia, Justin Steven Jason, Marjorie Ampo, Kiv Ladero, and Maribel Ilang. Og sa ako apong mga kasilinganan dinha sa Barangay Maparat, Compostela, sa ato ang mga estudyante nga naminaw karon dinha sa San Antonio Village. Maayong pagpaminaw ninyong tanan. Mga kazi, wala na tay igong oras. Daghan kaing salamat sa pag-uban sa upat ka oras natong programa karong adlaw, and we are looking forward to have you again sa mga musunod pa natong mga learning episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, mabati ug makita ta ninyo matag adlaw nga tanan, Lunes hantod Domingo, niining atong programa alas 10 hantod alas 2 ang takna sa hapon. Kita magapalanog-lanog ug magahatag kaninyo sa mga leksyon ngadto sa ato ang mga learners dili lang dinhi sa probinsya sa Davao de Oro, apan usab sa ato ang mga kasikbit nga probinsya nga maabot ni ining atong sibiyahanan. With that being said, ato ang itimbaya our former Schools Division Superintendent Sir Reynante Solitario of Panabo City Division, together with our ASDS dinha no sa Panabo City, kanhipod natong ASDS dinhi sa Davao de Oro, Ma'am Phoebe Gay L. Refamonte. Thank you kaayo sa inyuhang madasigon nga pagpaminaw usab ni ining atong programa, and we miss you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, another great learning day ang atuan na pong napagsaluhan, and please be with us again tomorrow, same time, same station, only here at Z-Radio 88.5, ang istasyong Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw. Og sa ngalan sa kinatibuk ang pwersa sa Radyo Z-Eskwela dinhi sa DepEd Davao de Oro, kami na manamilit na kaninyo mga kaigsuunan, and ato ang ampingan ang atong mga kaugalingon, and please keep safe always mga kaigsuunan. My name is Teacher Given, all the way from Monte Vista National High School, saying God bless everyone and dalaygon ang Diyos.
Pre, unsa din ang 88.5?
Z-Radio.
Unsa man po ng Z-Radio?
88.5.
Kuyaw, oy!
Ma 88.5 o Z-Radio man, kamo naminaw sa Siguradong Lingaw, Siguradong Kuyaw, Z-Radio 88.5.